Right. Uno, dos, tres. All right, guys. Welcome to the Media Hijacked podcast. I'm your host, Billy Walters. And joining me is Chris, Unholy Jesus.
Hey, what's up, universe? How y'all doing tonight?
Welcome, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Media Hijacked.
Hell yeah.
Before we get started, if you guys want to buy some t-shirts, I think Chris is wearing it today.
Oh, yeah.
Just go visit themediahijack.com, grab you a t-shirt. Look at that. Look at that nice little t-shirt. Oh, shit. Titties? Okay.
Vegas
Okay,
show.
do your thing, man.
Vegas show over here. We got a Vegas show.
And if you guys want to watch the replay to this podcast, go to our YouTube. Got all the links down there. And also, don't forget to rate and subscribe. And we got a new comment. I'm going to read it. We got a new comment on our iTunes. So go ahead and read it. We got 2 comments.
Nervous.
All right, so we got another 5-star rating. It says best podcast out. I agree.
I'll take that. Yeah. Facts.
He or she said, this is from Realville. Says, hands down my favorite podcast. Listen to these guys at work and make the shift go by way faster.
Hell yeah.
We hear that a lot.
Yeah, we do.
You guys listen to us while you work? I like that.
Work sucks. I know. Yeah.
Then we got a old comment, but I don't think I ever read it. From Quarantine Queen.
Oh, shit.
Jolly Ollie says, thanks for entertaining me during my commutes. You guys literally keep me to date on current events. Everybody must listen to these guys. They're hilarious.
Appreciate it.
Can't wait for more episodes. Thank you.
Oh,
We love you too.
thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you for those comments, guys. Realville, Quarantine Queen, let's go.
I feel like we're doing the Lord's work out here. Doing this shit.
Entertaining people.
Yeah. Doing these trying times.
These rough and tough times. All right, let's get to some small news. All right, so a Japanese serial killer who baited suicidal people on Twitter gets the death penalty.
Whoa! Oh, damn! That threw me off. I did not know that was gonna be a story. Okay, holy shit!
That was the headline I saw.
That should be a death penalty, though.
Yeah,
So I'm guessing where he's on Twitter. What you say he's on Twitter?
on Twitter, baiting people to people that's already suicidal.
Man, Twitter be having some. See, that's what Twitter be looking. They need to be focusing more on that than trying to shut people up about politics. Focusing on that shit. So I guess he's baiting people to like, yeah, your life sucks.
Yeah,
Fucking end it.
all typing in caps in Japanese.
Shit.
Antori Hanzo.
Goddamn.
Well, it's like a normal looking Japanese guy.
Are you seeing him?
Yeah, with his hands over his face, like he's disappointed.
Mama, no.
Like, dude, you get your rocks off by telling people to kill themselves, and they actually do it. And then he becomes like this fucking serial killer.
Probably, man, because that's like a sense of control. Like, damn, like I just made this person kill himself. I controlled their destiny. I could see that could be kind of like a nut buster. I'm not saying that I could do it or I agree with that. I'm just saying like I could see like people have this weird sense of control sometimes. It comes in different flavors.
Especially in Japan. That's kind of like an emotional country.
So, yeah, I think we talked about it before where it's like people are stressed the fuck out already and
You can see a tear dropping down of the country of Japan.
you can hear it.
Bloop. Bob says thought it was a lady. It might have been, because I did just get the headline.
And then the face was covered up.
And the face was covered up.
So that could have been
That could have been a lady.
Bobby Lee for all we know. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? We don't know.
Could have been Bobby Lee. Who knows? No, it's too skinny. Or she was too skinny.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It might have been a lady.
And that's some sick shit, though. Goddamn.
Yeah. Oh, so let's do like a little update on the monolith.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
You know who did all that shit?
They found out who did it?
Yeah.
Like a globally?
It's for a Netflix show. They did. It's like these Australian people. They go out putting monoliths all around the world.
Even in Utah?
And it's for a promotion for a Netflix show that's going to come out later.
Even on Utah? That one too?
Yeah, that one was the first one. That was the one that started all that shit. I was like, damn, that's no fun.
You know, I feel like this is like when you're a kid and you watch wrestling and then you find out it's not real and it's kind of like...
Found out they were cutting themselves.
Yeah, it's like, damn, this cuts the immersion away from like all the bullshit now. I wish you didn't tell me. I wish you didn't tell me. I didn't even know.
Like I knew like the first one, the one in Utah, like there was an ET episode where they showed these people, they took that shit down and it was like super lightweight metal. They're like, damn, this shit is like a piece of junk. and they had to take that shit down because a lot of people were visiting, and that area wasn't a safe area. So they took it down, and it's like, oh, this is like a piece of shit somebody just made, which was like a light piece of metal.
And they just tore that shit down.
They had to. And then I found out yesterday that it was like a bunch of Australian dudes just making that shit, putting it all around the world for like a TV show on Netflix. It's gonna be coming out later. I forgot the name, but you could just type up like Australian monolith guys.
Monolith TV show.
I was like, oh, that's no fun.
Well, to tie into that, because I wasn't gonna do this story, because I was like, okay, this is kind of like a couple weeks old. But to tie into that, since now that we know it's gonna be a Netflix show, it just show how seriously people took this shit as, right? So this is about like maybe like say like 2 weeks ago. Just say December 3rd. It's about like 2 weeks ago now. Okay, so it says mysterious monolith update. Not really, but racists destroy California monolith, proclaim Christ superior to space aliens. Okay, so they built the monolith in Cali. It didn't really blow up in the news like that. At least I didn't catch it. But it says a group of men shouting "Christ is King" and "America First" destroyed a new monolith and replaced it with a wooden cross. A new California monolith was torn down overnight by a group of right-wing young men who live streamed their vandalism in a grainy video posted on a blockchain streaming site called DLive, which I've heard about that shit, but I don't get on that though. So in the video, a group of 3 men are seen pushing the statue over and chanting "America First" and "Christ is King." The men, one of whom was wearing "Make America Great Again" headband. They make headbands? Man,
I'm sure they got everything.
The drip is real with that shit. I thought they just had hats. Okay. Called MAGA socks. MAGA socks, MAGA underwear. Yo. MAGA condoms. Yo, dang, they stretch that brand out. Okay, so so the dude was wearing a MAGA headband. He called part of the monolith's construction gay. Then replaced the monolith with a wooden cross. It is the decidedly bleak turn in the ongoing monolith saga that has generally been delightfully distracted for a world wreck, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, some people took this shit to the heart. I mean, the monolith saga is over now. Apparently, this ain't even news, but damn, people was taking that shit like some, but why? Like, just.
They should have kept it a secret.
For real. But does this make you want to watch the show now?
Man, religious people are crazy.
I think so.
They're always doing some crazy ass shit, man. Lighting shit up.
Like, I respect people's religion, right? And I respect it, like, keep it like to, like, if it makes them a better person, that's cool. But then you have like
the extreme ones.
The extreme ones like this shit.
It's too much.
That's too much, and that's why, like, man, I feel like a lot of people who are really good with religion, and actually good people with religion, need to kind of like step up and like let them know, like, hey, these motherfuckers are insane. They're not a part of us. Like, really call these motherfuckers out, because like sometimes, because some people are gonna just put y'all in the same damn box and they ain't gonna give the time to separate y'all. So
yeah, they're a little too wild.
That's just much, man.
It's like, oh, my son has a 666 in his head. Yo, cut that kid's head off.
Kill him.
Like, hold on, this is just a little defect, you know. It just happened to have 3 6s on his head.
It just kind of looked like
that
a 6.
looks perfect.
It's like a perfect 6.
Put that knife away. Becky, put that knife away. And she's like about to fucking chop that kid's head off.
The devil made me do it. I don't know, it's too much, man. At this point, I'm like, yo, I'd rather see some aliens and go with y'all.
Yo, I saw a real picture of an alien today.
What?
And I'm pretty sure this shit was real, dude. I was watching a documentary on Amazon. Because they remember those kids that were there describing the aliens they saw? They were wearing like black suits, but they had the big heads with the evil looking eyeballs.
Yeah.
Well, there's a real looking picture of 2 of them, like their upright position, just standing. They have the little black outfit on, the big head, and it looks real as fuck. I was like, this is a legit picture of a fucking gray alien right here.
This is it.
And then,
was it like a black and white picture or something?
Yeah, it was like a black and white. It was taken a long time ago when they're. This was back when they were investigating Antarctica, when that shit was booming.
When it's like, we
like
got
back
something.
World War II style. Hitler was over there doing this thing, dropping his little Nazi flags, like saying, "This is my land, not your land." No. From San Diego to New York Island. That's not even right, huh?
This land's from you and not me. I don't know.
But yeah, and then they said they had help by the aliens with all the technology they got.
Hey, that place is cold, man. Like, let the Nazis have it. No,
What else we got? Okay, I got one.
Okay.
A violent protest in India at the iPhone assembly plant this past Saturday because these workers weren't getting paid for like 4 months, and they were working overtime, like over 12 hours and shit, and they're doing extra shifts, and they weren't getting paid. So they lit that fucking place up, dude.
Fucking right, man.
They fucking got like 5,000 workers, fucking destroyed the whole place, destroying over like 60 million worth of equipment and everything.
Yeah, man. Teach these devils. Teach them.
But it's not even like iPhone, because iPhone, like they told the Taiwanese people, like, hey, go, like, we give you all this money, go build it somewhere where you can like profit, then we profit. So then the way the Taiwanese people were doing it in India was fucked up. So it was their fault, not like Apple's fault, because Apple said, here, we trust you, like, do this shit correctly. And then the Chinese people, they fucked it up.
Yeah,
they treated people like shit. Like, dude, this is India. Like, I mean, you know, in Asia, they can kind of pull that shit off because the Asian people are not really going to say anything.
Yeah.
What they're going to do is just going to kill themselves, which was happening in China. But then India was like, man, nah, fuck this shit. We're going to light this whole fucking place up. And they fucked everything up.
I thought that was
awesome.
I thought the country was like IT people.
Yeah.
Are they out there doing that shit?
Yeah, they're assembling shit. There's a job for everybody. Not everybody can crunch numbers.
At the same time, though, you can kind of point the finger at Apple in a little bit of a way.
Yeah, they're at the top.
Well, mainly because like
still,
I mean, because like because like countries like maybe like China and India and all like that. I'm not sure what their labor laws are, but I'm pretty sure their labor laws aren't as strict as America, right? But if you would put these jobs in America, would these people be getting bad? Dude, we got unions out here and shit. So the abuse of like a company over America or of American workers, it wouldn't be as severe as that. So it's like
nope, not at all.
So they know what they're doing, but I think it's like
they can get away with way more over there.
Yeah, you can get away with cheap labor and shit, and
they can even hit them.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
Whip them and shit. Stop it, Ling Long.
Work them tiny hands.
But yeah, so Apple announced December 14th, yesterday, that they're investigating whether Taiwanese contractors violated supplier guidelines, and they sent a team over there, and they said a lot of people were going to comply with the police. They're going to find out what's going to happen and shit. They already arrested 149 workers over the violence.
Goddamn.
So Apple's over there cleaning up the mess that the Taiwanese let outbreak and got out of control over there.
Hey, hopefully they crack down on that shit, man. Fuck.
I want to see the CCTV cameras because they said they had videos of that shit.
Oh shit! You know they burnt that shit up. You know,
because in that factory, they were making the iPhone SE models.
Okay,
that was the only model they were making there.
God damn, that's the only one.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
And that warehouse actually opened like not too long ago, maybe like 8 months ago. So it was like a brand new place.
So it wasn't even a year yet before people got sick.
And that shit's all fucked up already. Because India people, they're like, no, we're not having this. We are not having this, guys. This is not China.
And I like, yeah, y'all been doing that shit for decades over there. We ain't taking this shit for a second. Teach these motherfuckers. We teach these motherfuckers a lesson. Shout out to them. I respect that. Shout out to them.
Indians, man.
They don't fuck around.
They're really dark skinned.
What I gotta do with anything?
They're the real ones, man.
Compared to, well,
you know that, right?
I mean, yeah, compared to like Native Americans.
The dark skins are the native real people.
Okay.
The light skinned people,
like
they
Native
don't
Americans?
belong here.
Like Native Americans?
They're like modded human beings.
Oh, wait, okay.
Think about it. Humans been on the earth for a long time, right? Why isn't everybody dark skinned?
With the sun and shit. Yeah.
Right. So why is there white people and really light-skinned Japanese, Asian people? My skin is kind of light too, but
so you're not
my
from
people is actually my blood mixed a little bit with I guess modded blood, modded DNA and shit.
But as far as like with your people,
they're known to be dark skinned,
yeah,
similar
true.
to Indian style, similar to like Hispanics,
somewhere around that. Yeah. I would say that. Yeah.
Yeah. But like the light skinned people, like the Koreans and the Japanese and the white people, the pale skins, those are strange. How did they came all this way and then their skin is still
like
the same color? Like it never evolved. Like it never got dark. I'm like, hold up, dude. You guys came from somewhere else. Don't tell me you guys were here the same day like dark-skinned people were here. So that don't make sense.
The center of the earth.
Like you guys are only one know how to make houses at that time?
The center of the earth. There's no sun down there.
Mm-mm.
So it might be,
I was like, okay, there's black people, there's white people. No, it's supposed to be all black people.
It's supposed to be a black planet and everybody else inside
I think
of it is
about
like,
this almost every night. For real, dude.
This is what
then I'll
keeps me
text
up.
Bob. I was like, dude, white people don't belong here.
saying they like the cold. Nobody likes the cold.
I was like, oh, they're going to think I'm a racist. I can't say this out loud.
How can I think about this in a scientific way?
All right, what else you got? That was fun.
We love everyone here. Okay, it says, this is a, God damn, I want to fuck this kid up. Okay, it says 6-year-old spends $16,000 on iPad game purchases. Man, I would have flushed his ass down the toilet. Yes.
Why did the mom give that kid that type of access?
Yeah, it's
supposed to, like, when they're buying shit, it's supposed to be like, there's like another authentication, like that the owner is supposed to do.
But
their extra password.
What is this thing? I'll explain at the end of it because they should give you tips for parents who have kids, and they tell you like how to turn this type of shit off so kids don't be just going ape shit and
then they fall asleep. They use their fingerprint.
Kids are getting smart, man. Oh, excuse me. Okay, it says 6-year-old George Johnson. He secretly racked up more than $16,000 in Apple iPad game purchases within his favorite game called Sonic Forces. I don't know. I guess that's a Sonic the Hedgehog game. I don't know. I'm old. But his game's called Sonic Forces, right? Leaving his mom with a shocking credit card bill. All right, so this is a story. While working from home during the pandemic, somewhere up in Connecticut, Jessica Johnson, who's like a real estate broker, she makes pretty solid money, 41 years old, didn't realize the younger of her 2 sons had gone on a shopping spree on the iPad. Over the month of July, George bought add-on. Jesus Christ, I knew that's what it was. George bought add-on boosters, starting from $199 red rings and moving up to $99.99 gold rings. That's how they.
Was it one of those pay-to-win type games?
Yeah, that's usually how this is like type gambling shit.
Damn.
Or if anything, it sounds like it could have just been cosmetic or some shit. It might have been just
This is actually pretty common.
It's very common now. Yeah, this is not new.
Racking up all like the bill just from buying all these add-ons for characters. And
16,000 is probably like the world record though. This kid probably broke this shit in half.
That's crazy.
It says that allowed him to access new characters, more speed, spending hundreds of bucks at a time. Okay, so this is how she found out. This is when Jessica discovered Apple and PayPal were withdrawing hefty sums. It was like maybe like $562 here, $601 there.
Why didn't the mom even notice like these transactions happening? Like, don't she ever look at her bank account?
She's a real estate broker, so I'm assuming like after a while it kind of started hitting hard. But at first, kind of like, okay, maybe some bill.
Oh, she made like so much money she stopped looking at her bank account.
Yeah, some people were like,
that's nice.
I'm not saying I've ever been rich, but I've been in that position where I'm like, I've had a lot of money where I'm like, I'm not gonna. Okay, sure, take it out.
I never look at my bank account.
You can have it.
I'm like, oh, I'm negative? Shit. I didn't know.
Oops.
My bad.
Okay, it says okay, so like $560 there, $601 from there. It says from a Chase account, she assumed it was a mistake or fraud and called the bank. She was confused about the shit or whatever. They basically she wound filing like a fraud claim back in July when her bill reached $16,293.10.
Wait, so she didn't even know where it came from?
Not at first. No. I mean, I got an app on my phone that can show me every fucking thing of everything that comes on my account. So I don't know how she missed it.
So this is her fault for not being like in the loop and informed about shit that's going on, like with your kids.
Yeah.
What
Also,
they're buying.
Also, spoiler alert for anybody who's listening. She's not gonna get her fucking money back based off of like
because that kid enjoyed it.
Yes, and also too because with the user agreement shit, like
it protects the developers.
Yeah, she's not getting her money back. I'm letting y'all know right now, just like ahead of time. She's not gonna get her money back.
See, look, Bob. She says she sent her notification at 1 cent. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So like whenever her kids make a purchase, she'd be like, deet, 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 deet.
Yeah, shit. Clearly, this lady ain't got that shit.
Your kid done bought something.
Yeah, and 1 cent.
He done bought something. Bob like, Start rushing home.
And you can't buy nothing for a penny. So you really trying to? you really want to know? No.
I remember Jeremy said Jara he bought like a pay-per-view boxing fight.
Damn.
It was an old fight too. That was already like a week or something. I think it was UFC or something. And then they said they had to watch it like 5 times to get
the money back.
Like, who the fuck bought this old ass pay-per-view event?
Man, I seen this. Oh my god.
Hide the remotes.
For real. And the phone, man.
Damn.
It says, but it wasn't until so the bill was $16,293.10. But it wasn't until October that she was told by Chase that the charges were indeed hers and she needed to contact Apple. When she talked to Apple and shit, and they told her like the purchases that were coming off of her. Because Apple doesn't really tell you, at least when I can look at my bank account, it doesn't tell you exactly what's coming off of Apple. So if I will purchase something like, hey, this old school game I haven't played in like since Nintendo, it's on Apple, I'll buy it, be like $5.99 or whatever. They won't tell you. This just says like $5.99 removed, but it won't tell you like the game. Or at least like on my app it does.
Yeah, it won't tell you like what exactly. They'll just say like maybe like digital purchase.
Yeah, some shit like that. Yeah. So I guess when she went to Apple, and that's when she started finding out what it really was. I guess she says after she contacted Apple, right? Says she realized it was George only when she reached out to Apple and she was walked through and she says a buried list of all the charges. You wouldn't know how to find it. Unless someone was directing you. And then when she saw like the Sonic icon, that's when she knew it was her son. She's like, oh, this motherfucker, it's him. He's the culprit.
Did she break his leg or something?
She should have. Like some mafia style shit.
Damn, 16,000, that's a lot of money.
Brian, where's my money? Like fucking Family Guy. Like, just
I said, where's my money, kid?
Breaking both your legs.
Tenendo.
What's up?
Dude, we missed you, man. We missed you last week.
Hope you're doing well.
Well, thank you for joining us again.
Oh, yeah. So basically, like they say, so long story short, she doesn't get her money back. I'm guessing she'll have to figure out a way with Apple. Like, hey, you just paid off like a fucking debt.
She just got to take that loss, man. But learn her lesson.
I would be like, but $562 to $601. I was like, I'll pay it off. But we got to shave this shit down a little bit. Like I paid off like a debt.
I was like the developer. I'm like, nope.
Oh,
fuck that shit.
Heartless.
You should have been more responsible, lady.
Because
you can't just keep taking money back from the developers and shit.
No, she's gonna pay it off. But that $501, that's a lot, dude.
Yeah, she is.
That's a
with her. What is she doing? Real estate?
Oh yeah, real estate developer or some shit or whatever.
She's balling, dude.
Yeah, man. Fuck her. Yeah, man. She alright, man.
Fuck those people.
What if it's like normal people like us? Bro, we would get fucking
destroyed. Hey, speak for yourself. I'm 1%.
For me,
I'm in 1%.
For the people that live off of ramen and fucking chopped up hot dogs, like, actually, sorry,
ramen night,
fried hot dogs. I'm a little fancy, fried hot dogs, but that shit would fucking destroy me.
I love fried hot dogs.
I would be robbing your house right now, Billy. If that was, I'm like, hey, ready for this podcast? Click. Let's run it.
It's like, damn, what? Somebody playing a game here?
Yo, get that router. Yeah, I've been playing Cyberpunk. Okay, so anyways, back to the shit. All right, it says, so they basically like released some shit saying like to prevent iTunes and App Store's purchases of these downloads. It says go to settings and tap screen time, and then you can basically like tap context and privacy restrictions if asked to enter your password. Tap iTunes and then App Store purchases and choose a setting and set it to don't allow. That's basically stop your kids from fucking your whole life up.
You know how I would stop my kid from making purchases?
Chop his hands off?
I would tie their hands and their feet together. I'd be like, make that purchase now, Billy Jr.
And then what are they going to do?
They're just going to squirm.
Forever? To the 18?
Like, you trying to make that purchase? Not today. Not today.
Until they're 18.
And then they break out like, nope.
What now, Pops?
Nope. Get back here.
But that's the moral story.
Bob says, first of all, it wouldn't have went through decline. Bob, I'm going to go over your house and fucking make a purchase.
See what happens.
I'm going to buy 2 pay-per-views.
I want to see this.
I'm going to pre-order the Logan Mayweather fight too.
Woo. Was that February? Yeah.
All right. We good with that story?
That's it, man. The moral story is don't have kids. All right. Moving along.
All right. So scientists discovered possible new species of whale.
Oh,
is that crazy? Because whales are big. So how are you now discovering a new species of whale? Like, where did it come from? That's weird.
Under the sea. It got to be somewhere like deep, like some.
It got to be like a whale that was like deformed. And then they made another deformed whale. They made babies, and then they created a new species. That's the only way.
A super deformed species.
And here's like my theory on why they got like deformed. Because people, they keep like flushing medicine down the drain. So it fucked up the ocean water with all these fucking medicine, all these hormones and stuff. Created like new animals, new species of whales. And now they discover a new a whale off of Baja, California. And, you know, they said like the discovery was like, they were shocked. Like, how could we miss this before? Because there's a big mammal. How can you miss like a big mammal like that?
Yeah, for real. Especially if y'all always watching them and tagging them and shit. How the fuck this?
Eating them.
They gotta be. It might be something like the deep sea, man. Because they say but it's like supposedly it's like we as humans we have more knowledge about space than we do about the own ocean on our planet. Because I mean, you go into space, you ain't gonna get crushed by no pressure. But ocean, you hit that point where some of these creatures can survive that shit. But
Ocean is like space.
yeah, I think it's much scarier because I don't like the water. But
It's scarier because it's here in our home.
yes, just imagine the fucking planet flooded. It's like, oh shit, we all in the deep.
Speaking of planet, fun fact, you know that humans, they created so much waste and all this manufactured shit that like it outweighs like the land mass of the earth.
I believe that shit.
Like we created more shit than the earth land mass.
I believe that shit. You can probably build a whole planet off that. Just how much fucking shit we throw away.
Crazy, right?
I believe it.
Fucking humans, man. And we're part of it too.
We waste shit. We all do
fuck.
it.
I make so much trash, dude.
Hell yeah.
Like, why the trash always get full so fast?
Because they want us to get.
It's a conspiracy.
They get. I mean, if they didn't give us so much shit,
why is cardboard so big? Why can't cardboard break itself down into like a fucking
just turn like
a nanoparticle?
Yeah, just this is almost
Dissolve,
disintegrate. Yeah.
Fuck, Elon. Stop making spaceships.
Elon, what are you doing? For real.
Make a new a new material where you box it up, and then after you receive the box can break down by, I don't know, with electrical charge, and then it breaks down to like a little tiny little particle. You just
add
Kobe
water
and just drop that shit in your...
add water or something. Or say after like...
Yeah, or add water, then it all fucking... It turns into like a little tiny object. You could use it to plant a tree.
There you go. And then boom,
boxes
tree.
that can plant trees.
Oh,
boxes that...
they pay
if
for
you add water, the box would like decompress into like a little tiny...
seed type thing?
A little tiny tree.
Put it in this ground and boom. More trees.
Fuck, we're on to something.
Fuck spaceships. Let's save this planet. Let's do this.
Throw that spaceship in the trash. That's fucking primitive technology. Man. Aliens don't travel by using rocket launchers and shit.
No, man. They got like fucking dark matter drives and shit.
Yeah, they're using fucking like galactic cosmic protein beams. And
we show up to a space. If we would show up to an alien planet with even SpaceX shit, they'd be like, us humans be walking in like we're like that. That's our first day of school. We think we got cool clothes, but like everybody like that shit's old as fuck. Like, who do you think you are, new guy?
Yeah, they're like, that's embarrassing.
Whoa, oh my god, what's that smell? Is that fuel? Whoa, we use solar.
That really exists? It's like, yo, they're burning fossil fuels.
Oh my god, look at these mud people. That'd be like the racist name to call us.
Yeah.
You fucking mud monkeys.
Ghetto Earth.
Oh, that sounds horrible. Mud monkeys?
Ooh,
that is horrible. Oh my god. I had to stop myself. That is horrible.
That sounds like a racist Asian remark, dude.
That shit is fucking horrible. I'm sorry. That's not even a real thing, I don't think. That is horrible.
That sounds like a direct target towards Cambodian people.
I was about to say humans, but no.
I'm offended, dude.
Don't feel that way.
We're gonna light you up.
I got a funny story.
Light them up. Let's see what Bob says. She says, that's what I was gonna say. They explore outer space more than Earth. When shit pops up, we be shocked.
Oh yeah, that's I do feel like, I mean, space is amazing, but let's worry about what we got here, man. Like, and
you know why they don't worry about what's here now?
Because this planet is doomed.
Because it's already like
it's a wrap.
In its last days, dude.
They already know, and I mean, as in not us. They know which time is up.
Even the fucking Egyptians knew. They're like, man, there's only a couple thousand years left, if that.
They've been saying that right now. I saw this like years ago. I was watching something. I can't remember what it was, but it was like this thing where something like that humanity is actually kind of like living longer past its point of like, hey, we should have like some kind of extinction event at this point.
Yeah, we're overdue for another mass extinction or another big global event that's gonna happen.
Yo, looking at you, was that Yellowstone. Yeah.
Yosemite.
Yosemite.
When you gonna blow up?
Make
You
it
know
cool.
when Yosemite blow up? Fuck.
It's Dunzo.
R.I.P. to Nendo.
I've watched videos a lot on it, and it's like the best place to move on the planet. South America.
South America.
I'm joining the cartel, so I'm giving you a heads up.
Cartels joining cartels.
Okay.
Damn, look at all this fucking spam in the chat.
Oh my God.
We don't want to become famous.
No.
Dude,
we're already famous.
Bob, your mod, take care of these people. I don't even know how this is happening. But next topic.
Okay. Okay. This is a funny story. It says mysterious booming sound from New Jersey town. All right. Can you
that's
heard?
happening again?
Yeah. Oh, that's what I thought at first. This is funny though, right? All right. So, all right. I'm not gonna read this whole guy. I ain't gonna go through it like that. All right. So this is the story. I'm gonna give you guys the short version. For like almost like I think it's like maybe 6 months to a year in this town in New Jersey, people have been hearing like this loud booming sound, like during the daytime, like just boom.
I hear them out here too.
They've been hearing it for 10 miles. They've been hearing like for like anywhere between like 5 to 10 miles, mainly 10 miles the max. People hearing this booming sound. People were getting sick of it, filing complaints. And actually, with the booming sound, it's nothing supernatural. It's actually coming from a human being. It's a human making these booming sounds.
How?
All right, so there's like this guy, right?
Like naturally?
Like naturally.
Well, he better stop.
All right, so this is like I can't remember his name. Okay, so the town was like New Jersey town called Hamilton. Has been hearing mysterious booming sounds coming from an unknown location for the last few weeks. Aliens, the military, nobody had any idea. People had no fucking clue what was going on and sent a ton of complaints to the police. After investigation, it turns out this dude is blasting a cannon at clouds, breaking them apart, scaring away the birds so he can protect his grapes. So there's a dude who has a house. He's growing grapes. He's getting sick of birds like fucking pecking the shit out of that shit, right? Just fucking his grapes up. He's like, fuck this. I'm gonna take care of it. So he winds up building like a fucking cannon, like almost like a fucking air cannon, I guess if you want to call it. Like a gas cannon. He builds a gas cannon so he can shoot it at the clouds to break it apart. Like basically like to scare away the birds from the sky. So people were hearing sounds from the sky. Some people think that's why some people think like UFOs, whatever the fuck ever. But it was like breaking apart the clouds and shit. So the dude was like, yo, fuck these birds, and okay, it says
Fuck.
it says
I'll be so pissed.
So this dude was blasting clouds 30,000 feet in the air with a fucking cannon. That's what it says in this article too. It says that, my friends, is awesome. That's how you do. Basically, like he got bored in quarantine. Well, he was trying to deal with his grapes. Like I'm dealing with my grapes. Blah, blah, blah. He got bored in quarantine.
He created like a conspiracy.
He created a fucking cannon in his backyard to get rid of birds.
And he had no idea people were fucking flipping out.
He didn't fucking care. Nobody knows if he cared or not. But I had theories like when he knew he started getting out about it, he's like people were getting mad that I was doing that. Hey, how far could you hear it? Oh, fucking sweet. That's nice. 10 miles? Damn, I was doing good. I can see him kind of like, yo, you being like, yo, I built this, and I'm pretty sure the CIA is going to snatch him up.
I guess that's just like New Jersey, but it is like there's loud booms like happening all around the world, even out here, and it's different. It's not like the thing like with the dude. Like when I heard it out here, right? You hear a pow, like it's fucking like you could hear it so fucking loud, and then the house would shake like a sonic boom, and I would hear it a couple times and shit like throughout the day. I was like, damn.
I remember,
who the fuck is flying so damn fast?
What was it? Oh, the night when I had like my trip and everything. I might have been tripping though. I don't know. But I kept hearing like this loud clanking noise.
You're probably tripping.
Before I went to the trip. But it's not like someone was like, it's like a sheet of metal and somebody was taking like a fucking hammer like, clang.
Yeah, you're tripping.
Okay, that's what it was then.
Yeah.
I know that. I ain't know. I was like, I just wanted to know because it's been bugging me for weeks. I'm like, I'm not hearing this.
Before your trip started, you started hearing shit.
Yeah, that's what it
is.
Damn,
I don't think you...
That was good.
I mean, what else would make sense, right? Nothing else would make sense.
I thought I was hearing shit 10 miles away. I was like, yo, this shit's nowhere near me. It's
the
just
trip
like...
was starting. Like, that's the intro.
Yo, boom, boom, get ready.
Like, let the trip commence.
Damn, I was trying to relate to you on that, but never mind. All right.
No, yours is different. That's drug-induced. Did they tell that guy to stop?
I
would think like that would be annoying to neighbors.
I think more like, okay, so I'm trying to see what the rest is. Because I've heard the story, but then I had to pull up the article today to try to like get more context of it. Says it doesn't. Oh, okay, so basically, like, it's not a crime what he's doing though.
Look at Bob doing her thing. I see you, Bob. Thank you. But go ahead.
Oh, there you go. Okay, put in work. Thank you, Bob. Okay, it says okay, so they basically want to ask him like, hey, did you have any idea that we could just destroy clouds and change the weather? It's like, I certainly did not know. Anytime you see a giant rain cloud approaching, you just blast that thing into oblivion. This is and no more rain. And basically saying like this is kind of a more tame version of the president trying to nuke hurricanes, because I don't know if everybody remembers this. Like I think like maybe 2 years ago, we was having like the wild ass hurricanes with Puerto Rico. Oh, maybe it was 3 years ago now. He's talking about dropping a nuke on it, and then that was a fucking
On a hurricane?
That would have fucking killed the whole East Coast.
What is this fucking Twister?
I don't know, man. He went to drop a nuke like 3 years ago on like hurricanes. I was turning like remember like Puerto Rico got fucked up.
A real nuke.
A fucking nuke, like the nuke that we all know. He went to drop a nuke on it. This is like, mind you, scientists have talked about this back in the day when hurricanes were still relatively unknown. It was like, hey, how about when they first started building nukes and hurricanes returned to the coastlines, scientists way back when were like, hey, what if we just try nukes? And that got botched because it's like, motherfucker, it's just wind. That's just gonna get thrown. That radiation's gonna get thrown all up and down the coast. It's gonna be in the water. You kill all like everything in the fucking ocean.
See, that's how you know like this technology is not ours.
No.
When you see humans doing dumb shit like this.
Shit, yes.
Like, dude, like if you're smart enough to come up with shit like that, like why
would you use it?
You think you can just throw it like in a hurricane? That's cool. That's okay. Like it's like giving somebody a new toy and then he's like doing crazy hood shit, but he doesn't even know how that shit works. That's how you know like that technology was given to us. Maybe by accident or maybe like who knows? Somebody was fucking tied up and they end up releasing all this information on new technology.
I feel like it's the equivalent of like giving a toddler like a loaded gun, and that's a bad idea. It's like eventually toddler's gonna look down the barrel and then pow.
He's gonna test that shit out on his father.
Yeah.
Hey yo, dad.
It's not gonna be good.
Hey yo, dad, come check this shit out.
Fuck nap time. Pop. Drop him.
Damn, humans don't deserve that.
Hold this, L dad. Pop.
Bob says, I be thinking someone generator blowing up. But that's like yeah, that happens a lot. But
generators blowing up?
The booms I hear
it's
like,
way louder, man.
It's mega loud, like throughout the whole sky. And then everything shakes.
What's that shit we watched?
Sonic Boom style.
What was it that we watched where it was like in, was it Tibet? Or the people that was walking up in the mountains and shit? Was it Asian people or something? I can't remember what country it was in.
But what was going on?
I think it might have been China or somewhere in the mountains or something like that. And they was in like these booming sounds, but it's been like, they don't know what the fuck's, but it's been going on for like forever.
I think it's China.
I think it wasn't. Okay.
China been having like some weird shit like that. You remember how they had that one video where you can see the city in the sky?
Oh yeah.
They had like another video where if you look at the sky, you see like castles and shit. I was like, fuck. What are you doing, China?
Get me out of here, please. I don't want to see none of that shit.
Dude, that shit's flipped like upside down world. You can see like the mirror effect where you can
see the actual city in the sky. Yeah.
But this shit look like fucking fancy castles you would see in Games of Thrones and fucking Merlin of Oz.
God damn.
Merlin. Shit's cool, man. There's this one video I saw where you can almost see like the silhouette of a dragon. Like when you see like the lightning strike. I mean, I'm pretty sure it could be fake, but it looked pretty real.
You're talking about the one like you see like the flash of lightning and then you see like the
a silhouette of like a dragon looking flying creature.
Like a fucking monster.
I was like, oh shit.
Clouds be looking funny sometimes though.
But I'm pretty sure it's fake because if dragons exist, right, why would they be hiding themselves? But here I have another theory. They're just going in and out of our reality.
What if they just passing
through? Because they're not even in our reality. They're in like a fantasy reality, but they're like glitching in and out.
Yeah, it's like ghosts and shit. That's what I be thinking.
Yeah, like ghosts.
Like, that frequency going off. Oh shit.
The ghost like, oh shit, they saw me. Fuck.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's like that.
Oh, so the guy with the cannon, right? He says like, it's actually not illegal what he's doing. I mean, I think they're probably gonna make him stop because it's a nuisance to the neighborhood. But it says it's not illegal what he's doing because it's not firing projectiles or it's not an explosion. It's just a fucking sound cannon that I don't know how the fuck he created that shit. But like I said, like I was saying before about like with nuking hurricanes and shit. He was like, yo, it's better than nuking fucking hurricanes. Like this, which is he ain't lying about that. This is way better. But Yeah, man. This is what happens when people get bored during quarantine. They just do. I'm pretty sure the CIA eventually is gonna be searching for his ass. Like, hey, we need you to build us like a fucking. He's gonna get recruited. Watch. Who said this? He's gonna die. Right. I'm doing.
That's not even level 1 cicada, dude.
He's gonna die. Oh, he's even better. He's born this way. I think he might have been like
it's one of those people that like those redneck guys that's always innovating.
Yeah. Oh fuck yeah, you ain't lying about that. Rednecks be. Oof.
Yeah.
I be seeing Bill and Grills with like weird shit.
Mm-hmm. They be doing some fucking crazy off the wall shit that works.
Sometimes they blow up. Sometimes it works. Who knows? But yeah, that was it for that story.
Awesome. All right, guys, we're gonna take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. All right, guys. All right, so movies to watch on Amazon Prime. I actually went through the list yesterday, and these are the ones that I picked out.
Okay.
All right, so The Handmaiden. If you guys ever heard this movie, it's a South Korean filmed, classed as an erotic psychological thriller. The Handmaiden contains explicit scenes you should probably avoid watching around your parents. Mm-hmm. Crazy, nasty scenes.
It's like a horror movie?
Like dick grabbing scenes and fucking eating vagina scenes. I don't think you want to watch a movie like that like with your parents. I watched half of it just to preview to see if it's good.
Pretty crazy.
It's similar to, you ever seen that movie Parasite? It's a South Korean movie.
No, but I've heard a lot of good shit about it. I've heard many good things.
You need to watch Parasite. It really is a fucking good ass movie.
I thought it was gonna be a horror movie at first, and it kind of is from my understanding of like the plot of it. Was like classism. I heard it deals with something like that.
I wouldn't say horror, more of like a
too real shit
comedy, dramatic thriller.
Really,
but not really comedy because it is kind of serious too, but not serious.
Okay, so
I really can't explain it. It's like a
dark comedy?
It's refreshing though. Like if you watch that movie, it's like, damn, like okay, like these guys, it's like a new style of making movies and shit.
Okay,
and the actors were good, man.
Okay,
I say watch Parasite. It's on Hulu. I think it's only on Hulu. Either that or you guys can.
My Hulu. I just canceled my Hulu.
Yeah, Parasite. It is really good, and it got voted like film of the year, movie of the year.
Yeah,
plus it was like they could easily put it in like film of the decade.
Yeah, I was hearing like a lot of praise about it. When it came out early this year, I think it was. It might be last year. It might have been.
I think last year. Or
I think it was last year.
2 years ago.
Yo, got like mad praise when I was hearing about like. Cause I watched like a lot of views and like reviews and all that, and they were like, "Yo, this is top notch."
It's like it feels like a new style, new taste of movies,
which is good because I feel like I'm hoping with how everything's going with movie theaters and all that, or just movie consumers. I still like superhero movies. Don't get me wrong. I think it's very enjoying. But there's times where I watch a movie and I'm like, wow, this is better than any Avengers movie I've ever seen. This was more entertaining. I feel it's like more relatable. Like you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of these movies are like don't really get like much acclaim by the general public. So like Parasite type shit or whatever.
Yeah, Parasite is like
I'm hoping it makes that shift though.
It's like one of those movies like you think you know what's going on, but as the movie progresses, you're like, oh shit, I did not see that coming.
I don't know shit.
It's pretty good. And so this movie called The Handmaiden on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
It's almost similar where they have like con people. Okay. Like the story is like this con man. He has like a group of con ladies and con mans. Like they just trick people. Okay. So that guy is trying to trick this rich lady. She's like an orphan, but like her father is like wealthy, and he's trying to get married to her to inherit her wealth and shit.
It's all scamming.
But then after he inherited her wealth, he's gonna like put her in like the crazy madhouse hospital because he's gonna label her as a crazy lady, and then just take all the money.
Hold up. When did this movie come out?
I don't know.
Man, did Tyler Perry rip this fucking movie off? Tyler Perry has a movie almost like oh hell
maybe
no.
I mean
usually like a lot of these movies like that usually start out of the country. Like this is like Tyler movie has a movie almost exactly like this on Netflix.
How does it go?
Where it's like this older lady who's got money, shit like that. She's not with anybody, and she meets like a charming guy, falls in love with him, but the dude like scams her, and then winds up ending up in prison for all these years, but winds up getting all her money because he gets married to her, and then she winds up getting like all that shit, and then she went to prison, gets out, and then she finds like this whole conspiracy of like, but she been getting scammed by like these people she thought were her friends were all like kind of like setting her up to get with this dude. This is like something like that. But this sounds more clever though.
Because the guy had like a partner, like one of his his female buddy friend. She's like the handmaiden, the fake one.
Okay.
And then she's gonna help like put that shit in motion to where he's gonna go and then make his move and then make the girl fall in love with him and shit. But then she end up like I'm not telling you guys the whole story, but like she end up like regretting it and not trying to go with the whole flow of the whole shit
because she felt bad.
Yeah, she felt bad and shit. It's pretty raunchy though, like in the beginning and shit.
Handmaiden?
There's a lot of some nasty scenes. That's pretty cool, man. And you would never imagine like Asian people doing like nasty scenes like this. So it's refreshing to see Asian people act like this.
Amazon?
Acting like wild animals.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. Like that, none of that.
Yeah, it's new. It's
that subtlety type of.
It's pretty raw, man.
Yeah, the stoic raw shit. Yeah, we all people, man.
Amazon Prime, man. You can watch that shit.
All right, cool. I still got that. My Hulu's dead to me. I had to choose between that and my other baby, HBO Max, and Hulu. I'm sorry, I had to sacrifice you.
There's another movie on Amazon Prime. It's called One Child Nation, and it's a documentary about you know how China had that one child policy that lasted from 1979 to 2015.
This was horrible.
So this is like the story from all those people that this shit affected in China, and they're telling you all the stories that happened.
Oh my god! This is Amazon.
Yeah,
Yo,
Amazon.
I'm definitely down to watch that. That shit was that shit was fucking bizarre to me.
Yeah, I was always curious about that shit. And I always wonder like how did it even work? Like, okay, like if you had two kids, like we always heard like, okay, they just killed them off. But I want to hear like the story from the people where they actually had like a second child and what they had to go through.
Cause I've heard stories about like they try to hide the kid or some shit. Like I had a daughter, I had to like, we had to make it look like a boy type shit. And now I want to find out like years later, like something I heard about a couple years ago. I like with a lot of like men in China, because the population right now in China is fucking out of whack now. It's actually off balance because there's so much men, not enough women now. Oh, that's what I've been hearing. I've been hearing some shit like that. It's like there's all these like basically a sausage party in China. So like, but a lot of these like Asian dudes now, they get married to like women from Africa because a lot of Africans are starting to move to China now. They about to have the African Chinese hybrid going.
The Blasian
babies. They coming after. They're gonna be strong, smart and strong. We fucked. We gotta get ready, people. Get ready. We gotta get this fight.
Wakanda with a calculator.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. God.
It's fucked up, right?
No,
I didn't say that.
No. I didn't agree with you. Oh, we gotta get ready,
I hope
folks.
editors cut that out.
We are never gonna have a Netflix special, you know that? They're never gonna tap into us.
Get canceled when they find us.
Yeah, but about some real shit though, it's like there's just being because of that one child nation shit. It's caused it's off balance. Everything is like
they were saving most of the males,
men, and
killing off the females.
And now there's no like it's like I don't want to say like the wrong ratio, but it's too many dicks there, and a lot of these dudes are like within that 40s, 50s who came up in this era and. They can't find no wife, no nothing, and then
you think
they
because
just stuck
like,
by themselves. They jerking off to I don't know that movie you was talking about earlier. I don't know.
You think like because like they did that, like it did help the balance of like humans like making more babies? Because China is like the most populated country in the world. Yeah. So I think if they didn't make that move, we would be so fucking populated right now. Like way more than like what's the top population right now? Like around 7 billion or something.
Yeah, we're pushing 7 billion.
Yeah. Like imagine.
I think 7 billion now. Yeah.
Imagine if they didn't do that, how much people would be alive right now, and what the effects that would cause to like our whole world. It'll be a different world right now.
I think it should have been balanced better though, much balanced better. Like it's like okay for like, it seemed like it was targeting females, but they didn't take the account of like because this is a society that's mainly like. Hey, men are held up to a higher pedestal than females because men run the family and all this other shit with their structure of society. In some weird fucking way, you never take account that women. You still need to have women, regardless. It don't matter. Like the one can't exist without the other. You need to have something.
But I think they might have did like the right thing because maybe like if they did, like, if they never made that law, right, people will keep continuing having crazy babies, and then there would have to be, like, a Holocaust part 2.
Dude,
they would have had to kill a lot of people, and Thanos would have been visiting us and shit.
I just had a theory.
What?
Fucking Wuhan. What if that was like, yo, we need to cut this population down to even it out to men and female? I'm not sure what the ratio is of how
I wouldn't say equal it out, but I think...
Like, cut it back some more, maybe, or something.
Yeah, cut back more.
Because it started there. And China tried to hide it.
It might have been like, hey, like China, you guys did a good job, but still, we're still at the red zone where we still have too much people living on Earth. And we have to find out another way, and we got to do this globally. We can't do it like on a small scale, like creating like a virus like AIDS and shit, because it takes too long to kill people.
And since you guys are the expert of, trimming the fat off of of populations, then, we need you to design something that, just let's trim down the water a little bit, just a little bit.
I think the virus had more to do with that protest, because they were getting annoyed.
Oh yeah, for sure. That definitely that's got something to do with it. For
they're not stopping. What should we do?
What's that video you sent me? It was like they like so well organized. It's like, yo, they move locations. Like, you know what?
Ants.
Virus. Like wipe them out. Like fuck it. And it slowed it down.
The leader's like, man, drop that damn virus.
Do it.
Drop that shit. And then they drop it in like a whole bunch of different locations. Not just one location, not just the wet market. They were in the dry market. They were in the little the market in the village.
It's the air you breathe, man.
It's airborne. They dropped that shit at the airport.
It's not like food. It's not even like something like if you eat a specific type of food, you catch it. You breathe and you catch it. Those are the worst ones, man. You need to smash. But I did hear something a couple months ago that if you're male, I know how true this is. Take this with a grain of salt. If you're a male, they say like the best way. They say like COVID-19 can supposedly sit within a male's ball sack, and if you want to clear your body out, supposedly if you masturbate, it helps you clear out if you have COVID. I don't know how true this is. I heard this about a couple months ago. I don't know. Take that for what you will. If you guys want to look that up,
that's fake news, Chris.
And I mean, it didn't change my life because I do my thing anyway. So if I ain't got nothing, then I help myself out. So I ain't got COVID. So, but if you really paranoid about COVID, say look it up. I'm trying to help out the people.
I kind of want COVID. It's like that shit. Like when you see your classmates all get braces and you want braces.
Yeah, I did when I was a kid, but I realized like holy shit, my teeth are really straight. Like they look like fucking bozos.
I was like, damn, everybody's getting COVID. What about me?
With gum stuck in their fucking braces.
I want COVID. And then I get it and die. It's like,
shit.
Fuck.
Then I got it from you because I'm here.
Fuck, that was too intense.
Watch, we're gonna be done. This is the last episode. I feel like I got it already.
Jeremy says John had it.
John.
But did he die? Serious
Sure,
face.
me and Bob had it. I think I noticed like a lot of people was thinking like they had it at one point or another. Even I did. I thought I had it back in January last year. I was speaking mad crazy at work, and I don't never get sick like that, man. I'll be,
this whole year, usually I get sick one time.
Damn.
I haven't got sick not one time yet. And I think it's because it's the help of the community by staying safe. Everybody's being clean now. Like, I'm not getting sick because people are being more clean. They're not cleaning their hands and closing their mouths when they cough.
Yeah, because a lot of times it's like, if you get sick, it's because somebody else is sick. But if everybody's not, if they're taking care of themselves, you ain't getting sick as much.
I was like, I'm never going to get sick then.
Jeremy says, Mom and Pops had it in February for 2 weeks. God damn.
Sounds about right.
Damn.
All right, so, my bad.
Okay, the movie. Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
one last movie recommendation for Amazon Prime members. It's called A Vast of Night. It's an indie sci-fi flick directed by Andrew Patterson. It's about two young radio workers who investigate an audio frequency that they think could be aliens, and it's set in like the 1950s in New Mexico.
Oh.
Well, I think it's like a true story because I heard like, remember they said they found a little blip in the radar, the radar and shit. They're like, hey, this shit is like it's not something normal because it's more like something that came from something intelligent to make that radio frequency sound.
I think I heard this movie. This is an American movie, right?
I don't know if it's American or maybe it's a Spanish movie, but it's an indie sci-fi flick.
Yeah, I think it's an American film. I know what you're talking about.
It might have been American.
I heard that shit's fucking good. Like it's like some chick and some dude that worked at a radio station.
It sounded about right.
And then like I said, they wound picking up like some radio signal. It's like in the trailer you never see the aliens, but it kind of hints at like, yo, they picking up some kind of
right.
They picked up some shit while working there. But I think it takes place like in the 50s or 60s or some shit
1950s.
Like, is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. I remember that. Oh, damn. I heard about that like last year, I think.
Yeah.
Did you drop some gems today, man? Holy shit. I mean, two of these movies I've want to watch really bad. Actually, no, I want to watch all three of them. Fuck it.
Yeah, watch Handmaiden, dude. They be getting nasty in there, eating fucking vagina. grabbing cocks and shit.
Eating boop.
Yo, those South Korean films, dude.
They're disgusting, man.
No, not like
If they
disgusting.
can get down to it. They can
Like,
get.
dude, they're like on a different level of like directing films.
Yeah, there was another movie that came out. I heard about this year. It may have came out last year. It has something to do with like a serial killer, and I can explain it. It's like a guy who's trying to hunt down a serial killer who killed his wife or whatever. But it's like some kind of twisted ass story. But I guess the serial killer is like kind of like this fisherman or something like that or whatever. Some kind of wild shit. But
pretty twisted.
It's pretty fucking twisted. I heard it's like very brutal.
It's crazy how those Asian like directors be that dark.
It's like I don't know. It's like they know like because like I heard like one of the things they did very well with like some of their movies. Like I think with that in particular is like the sound design or like how they kind of like just they give you like just enough tension to like okay. These are the characters, this is who they are. And then it's written well how they are as like people, like how they feel or whatever, what they're going through. And then when they're in the shit, that's when you kind of like, this shit does not, hope he makes it out. Because there's I don't know if you have the app 2BTV. It's basically like free Netflix shit, right? There's this movie called like The Train to Busan or some shit like that.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Yo, this shit's dope, man. It's a good fucking zombie movie. It's like,
It was all right.
I thought it was better than Walking Dead, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I enjoy it.
It's a different take on like zombies and shit.
It was like a thing I was kind of like, I kind of care about almost everybody. I hope everybody makes it. It was
Yeah,
right.
but out of like all that movie, even out of Handmaiden, dude, Parasite is
It's like
that one's like legit
the creme
good.
de la creme.
This one I haven't finished The Handmaiden completely, but like so far, to me it's all right so far. But I almost feel like they kind of jocked the story from Parasite a little bit with the con people.
Oh yeah.
Because the story is similar, like Parasite, like they're trying to con a family.
Okay.
And they have their own little con crew. I was like, oh shit, this is like it seems like another Parasite movie.
Okay.
But like made like not as well as Parasite,
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Yeah.
But it's still a good movie to watch.
Still better than a lot of American movies, I assume.
Yeah, American movies are getting repetitive.
Joe, it's the same shit, man. If I was watching like this documentary just talking about like how throughout the decades was like the last good decade of like really good movies, and they were talking about like the 90s was probably like the last good decade.
It is
because it was like no, I mean, of course you had sequels every now and again.
Independence Day.
You had like a lot of shit. It was like genuine, legit ideas, and then from the 2000s going to like the next 20 years to now has been reboots, sequels,
Mostly
and all types
reboots.
of show, and everything's got a fucking sequel, and it's kind of like it's just they
Nothing
got
really
lazy.
new.
Yeah, nothing new, man.
Nothing
No
new.
new shit.
Nothing new under the sun, man. That's what happened when you live in a dome.
And you went,
It's recycled, dude.
Yo.
It's recycled, man. Fast and Furious 10.
for real, man.
Trash.
It's supposed to be the last one, right? The next one.
They should have stopped at 5.
What was the one when Paul Walker died?
4. No,
No,
5.
That's 5.
5.
No way. They pushed out 5 movies since then.
Yeah.
Holy shit! Yo,
He
they
died at the
should've-
last movie that I was in with him.
Oh, that was,
It was 5.
It was 5.
That's
then.
how I remember it.
Yo, then cut that shit, man. They should have ended it there.
Yeah, they should have ended the whole series after Paul Walker died.
I would have been fine with it.
Because they ended the story good. Like, they went their separate ways. Like, cool. Kill the series.
Like he goes on with his girl and his baby and all that, and then everybody like
Yeah.
they
Like,
escape.
they use his brother's face to make it look like his face.
Boom,
Like,
and they
cool. You
win.
guys ended right. You part ways.
Damn, they really should have ended up with that fucking greedy ass Hollywood, man.
But then 5 fucking films later. Come on.
we still doing that shit.
They're jumping through buildings and shit.
Han is oh my god. When he was driving out, no, that was 5 with the skyscraper though.
No, that's like the next one.
That was that was the one after 5.
It got more extreme after 5.
Oh my god!
5 was like the most,
I forgot Paul Walker was in that shit too.
5 was like the most tame
Paul
one.
Walker's brother. I said air quotes with Paul Walker's brother. Paul Walker, air quotes, was in it. Oh my god, though that shit got way crazy. Yeah, they should have just left it at 5, man. But people still buy them tickets, so fuck it. If the sheep is gonna eat the shit, then why would you change it? Like, I mean, it works. Did you want to talk about like for like the last thing? What the fuck? Cyberpunk?
Not really.
Okay, we can save that next time then. Cause that shit is.
You want to jump into the main topic?
Yeah, I'm ready, man. Yeah, go. Oh,
I
yeah,
just got
let's
to take
go.
a leak one more time, though.
Do your thing.
Be right back, guys.
Let's do it.
All right, so before we get to the main topic, I'm going to talk about Roswell real quick. So, You guys remember the Roswell crash, the aliens, and they try to cover that shit up?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the grandchild, the grandchild of the officer who was at the crash site that brought all that shit home, the kid, he's gonna be releasing like a diary about everything that happened that fateful day where the alien crash happened. He said it was a real cover up. They made like his father like lied about that shit, saying it was a fucking weather balloon because it was official in the newspaper where they said like they saw like a real crash and of a UFO, and then the next day they said it was like weather balloons.
Yeah, it's like some kind of military testing thing. Yeah, I remember that shit. I remember
It happened in 1947. So like the kid said he saw like all the shit that his father brought. He saw like this one shit where he can look through it, right? And he saw like a little light like on the inside.
Yeah.
You know what he saw? It's so weird. He saw a fucking seal with the with the ball on his nose, but it was like a light beam.
Wait, I'm trying to imagine.
And it's so weird. I was like, how could anybody make that up? Because that's such a strange
random
thing.
Yeah, this is like
He'll look through like a little tube, like the shit, the rubble that his dad brought back, and then he saw like a little light with a seal with a ball on his nose.
I think he's gonna say something like he saw like another alien planet or something. I was like, okay, that's kind of typical.
Yeah, that's
typical.
I would think, yeah.
But the seal thing is.
But
I was expecting that.
Other shit that he saw, like on the objects, he said he saw a whole bunch of like it looked like Egyptian type symbols, like that's written on like the objects that were recovered from the crash site.
The key, these people are the key to.
Yeah, it has some weird. So he said he's gonna release like a diary talking about everything. He's gonna release all the information that he saw, and it's gonna be on the History Channel program called Roswell: The First Witness.
Damn,
that's cool, right?
History Channel's still around? I thought I was hearing rumors they was gonna get rid of that channel.
Yeah.
No shit. I love History Channel, man. Good for you guys.
So it's gonna be released on the show called Roswell.
Okay.
The First Witness.
It's gonna be like just one whole thing, like it's gonna be broken into parts, or
it might be like a
3-parter type shit,
broken down to a couple of episodes. I hope, because like a story like that, you have to stretch it out.
Yeah, you gotta digest that shit.
Yeah,
man.
you can't put it in
too much.
All right, guys. So main topic, Tom.
Let's get it. All right. So for tonight's topic, people, we're gonna be talking about the urban legend of Polybius. Yes.
Polybius. That's how you pronounce it?
Polybius, yes. For all you Rick and Morty fans, it's not Columbus. So if anybody watched Rick and Morty.
So what is this Polybius?
Sorry. So Polybius, right? We're gonna break it down. We're gonna travel back in time to the year of like 1980. Disco's fucking dead. They burnt all the records and shit in some baseball stadium northeast. Disco's dead. 80s started, and it's right before the year Reagan takes over America and fucking ruins America. But this is 1980s, right? 1980s fucking Portland, Oregon, right?
Psychedelic era.
Yeah, this is when the transition, like, hey, we're going from like the peaceful time of like drugs are probably like psychedelic shit to like boom, crack cocaine. This is right before we hit crack cocaine era when Ronald Reagan gets into 81. That's what I'm saying. Like, that shit is
fuck
like
that dude.
81's that wall. We like, oh, okay, psychedelics got pushed aside for the hard shit
the real hard shit.
That the government's bringing into America, but that's a whole nother topic.
Give them that hard shit.
But okay, so this is up in Beaverton, Oregon, right? So there's this town called the Beaverton, Oregon, right? Little small town or whatever. And this is basically like just in the 80s, kind of like when I was reading the story earlier, I was thinking about like fucking Stranger Things type shit, kids walking around and shit, this little small town or whatever.
With little arcades.
Little arcades and shit playing around. And Beaverton, Oregon, actually a lot of towns up in like the up in the Northwest, mainly like Beaverton, Oregon, and a couple other towns out there, was basically testing grounds for like a lot of arcade machines, like dropping them in there, boom. Let's see how these kids like it. A lot of times these arcade machines wouldn't even have like fucking titles to them. It'd just be like, arcade machine, run it, Jimmy. Jimmy gets on and plays it. I like it. And if they want to find the kids like it, all right, we'll give a name to it, and then we'll do mass production of it. But it was all testing grounds for...
I didn't know that.
Okay, yeah, that was like ground zero for... And actually, when I heard about this today...
So they did that all in Oregon.
Yeah, it's all Oregon. When I heard about this today, I kind of figured that this story was true because when you hear about people like talk about, I beat this one game on an arcade back in the 80s, they always talk about, I was living in Portland, Oregon, or somewhere around the Oregon area. It's always been Oregon, like when they've been winning, like, y'all got the highest score since, like, when they started doing these championships. That's why I was like, okay, it makes sense, because A lot of these motherfuckers who always claim like back in my day, they've always been from like Oregon type stuff, you know. So that was like that's when it started arcades, like big kids out there, you know, boom boom playing it up. And so one of the places in Beaverton, Oregon, they had a spot called the Malibu Grand Prix Arcade, right? Arcade spot. Kids going there. Kids are hamming up, and also they were getting like new arcade machines, and all these machines were just black, no title on it, no nothing. Kids are going there, compete, getting high scores and whatnot.
Was this like with the Galaga and all that shit?
Yeah, it was like
Pac-Man was already out.
Like all that shit. Like, well,
Donkey Kong was out.
I don't think they was out by then. This is like the fucking early eras before. I might have been.
I think they were all out in the 80s. Galaga was already out.
Like, well, Galaga, I think it was. I think there's one game called Galaxy. I remember that shit. That was back on like Windows 95 and shit when they put that shit on it.
I think Galaxy was after Galaga.
Yeah, I think so.
It might have been like a copycat.
Yeah, with your little spaceship flying around and shooting like fucking.
But I think like the 80s, that's when they brought like the Donkey Kong series.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, the 80s, for sure.
When Nintendo brought all their shit over here.
Yeah, it was like, okay, it's like they know we sent them Atari to see if they can handle it. Okay, let's give them a little bit more.
This one arcade was booming.
Yeah, booming, right?
Even like in Japan, it was like super booming.
Booming as fuck. Booming so bad that I didn't know this today. Arcades back then were fucking horrible places to go.
Why is that?
A lot of criminal elements was going down there. This is separate from like what we're gonna get into with the conspiracy. Like a lot of shit was going down there. Like people were like it was like a lot of seedy shit. Like there's something like the gambling dens, all types of wild shit. Like people would create like fake ass arcades. Be like, hey, during the daytime we got kids show up here at arcades. At night, be like, yo, gambling den. We doing this, doing that. Cops doing raids in these fucking places. And this is all in this is all in Oregon now. This is all like FBI was getting involved in a lot of shit, which you'll see that kind of ties into like the conspiracy of everything going on with like these with.
So the place is pretty raunchy.
Oh yeah, it became problematic. It's not like this whole, you know, kids having a good time. It's always peaceful. A lot of people were taking advantage of this shit to where they was building these buildings, and hey, I'm running a peaceful arcade for the kids. You know, you can't expect that from here. And at night, yo, these arcade machines, the fucking gambling machines, and
damn,
you know, and it's basically like they were rewiring machines to like for gambling purposes. Some wild shit. I get that a little bit, right? All right. So as time passes on, all this arcade stuff, the arcades are blowing up left and right in Oregon, and then FBI is raiding the place, cops are raiding the place, and then it wasn't until like maybe like the early 2000s that's when urban legend of like Polybius started, right? Polybius started.
The Polybius arcade.
Yes, the arcade game. That's when the article started, and it all started from this guy named Stephen Roach. That's where it first started. With like somebody, I guess, was like on some like a vlog saying that their name was Stephen Roach. And they're like, "Hey, I was a developer at one time who worked for a company, and it was me and other developers. We was working for this company that was South American based, and we were hired to design a machine that would, you know, excite kids or kind of like tap into like specific things in people's bodies, in their emotions or whatever, in some of their brain to get them like stimulate to want to play some more." Boom. So I helped them design this game called Polybius. But I looked up on Reddit and the shit is so fucking long. I was like, there's gotta be.
I did hear about this a little bit.
Yeah,
and it's later that they're thinking this guy is like a fraud.
Yeah, there's more to him. There's more to this guy too. With
but explain to them like what Polybius is like in the beginning of the '80s when they dropped this Polybius arcade.
Okay, so Polybius is supposed to be, as the legend goes, is this fucking machine that it either gets kids really addicted to it. As they say, it's like very similar to like the game of like Tempest, which I mean I don't know anybody who probably remembers that. Even hardcore gamers right now can't even tell you what Tempest looks like, but the old school Atari game where it's almost like it's basically a puzzle game and all that. It's very similar to that, and it's getting kids very like supposedly the legend is kids were getting very addicted to it. They was starting to have seizures, epilepsies, because like I guess it was like so many different colors in it, and then it was caused like people to have like these health problems. People getting like the story I'm about to read in a little bit from this one kid named Michael Lopez who was like 14 back then. He talks about he had like a fucking migraine that sounded like it was killing him. About he was one of the couple cases that came up with like kids who were having problems that was playing the game. A couple of people died supposedly playing this game. Maybe have had heart attacks, wild shit like that of this supposedly legendary game.
Yeah, it's what made it crazy is like supposedly when all that happened, when the kids were going through all these dramatic events and shit, it was in like the 80s where they brought this arcade into these arcade places.
Mm-hmm.
And then the kids were playing with it, and they said they all got addicted. They all got fucking fucked up. They have like nightmares or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then the weird thing is that it disappeared like
out of nowhere.
Yeah, out of nowhere, it would
stop.
disappear like maybe like a year later or something. Like it came on the arcade scene and then it disappeared. And that's where the conspiracy happened.
Yes.
Because because it was such a weird arcade machine to where like it was almost like a myth because it came so fast and then it went away. But then the kids had all these crazy stories about it. But then like later, nobody can prove like this arcade even exists in the first place because it's almost like they made all those stories up.
Yeah, and to go back to like with the guy Stephen Roach, who was like supposedly
developed it.
One of the developers of it. He says like, okay, we created this game, supposed to stimulate these kids or whatever and make them want to get addicted to it. And then we found out it was causing problems like kids having epilepsy and all that. So we had to shut down the project and everything like that. And then that was the end of it. That's supposedly that's what he says that was his story, you know. Yeah. So like so one story in particular that I actually found interesting that I came across. All right, let me take it back. All right. There's an article I came across, right? Her name's is an article, right? This is a lady named her name is Kat Despira. I think I'm saying her name right. But she basically did an article called "Reinvestigating Polybius" with 2015 update. So Kat is this chick who's from the same town as Beaverton, Oregon. She grew up in the 80s and all that over there, and she's trying to remember. Like, well, she says like while she was going up there, she does not remember a game ever existing in arcades of it being a Polybius at all. But she got really interested and started doing like a lot of investigation. And she put out like a fucking amazing article about it. Like, well, this is back in 2015 when she did this article. But a very amazing article about like how it just kind of like, it just built up to like this urban legend. And you can kind of see like where it kind of started from. But there's some grains of truth in it, but not maybe to the level that there's Polybiuses out there, but not the like it's been an issue, I guess, with like some of these games. One of the guys that she interviewed out there was a guy named before I read this, because this is kind of like, it's not super long, but I don't know if you want to, you think of something or
I was thinking of something.
Oh,
my bad.
No, you good. So she's basically gonna run like so I'm taking it back. So this lady Kat, she goes back to her hometown, does an investigation. Like, hey, I want to find out what this Polybius thing is because I don't remember it, but some people from my hometown says it existed.
I heard rumors of it. That's why when you mentioned it, I was like, okay, I heard rumors about it because there was people trying to rebuild like a fake version of Polybius and then sell it to people, from like memories or like from what people were talking about. So they're trying to rebuild like that game from the memories of people that supposedly played the game and experienced it. Because still, like, this is one of those urban myths where like nobody can really say like this really exists because it was never filmed. It was never there's no like real picture of this shit.
Camera footage.
There was nothing. So it's all from like memories of kids that saying supposedly that they played a game and they said like there was weird shit where they say there's people dressed in black that would come to arcades, like Men in Black people, whatever. Because there's another conspiracy about saying the reasons why like they put these arcades was to like test kids to see if like who's like smart enough to join like CIA or whatever.
Solve these puzzles, get the highest score.
They'll solve the puzzles and then they'll be recruited to like the CIA and then they work for them.
I've even heard some stories where they was trying to create super soldiers. I've heard like some shit like on
See, that's when like
that's some MK super duper
that's
shit.
when like you can take that story and just stretch it any way you want, like because nobody can really say anything because they can't even prove this shit even exists in the first place.
I will say this though, spoiler alert for me. Do I think Polybius is real? No. Do I think the government tried to do shit with arcade machines to do shit with kids? Yes. I don't think Polybius itself may be a real thing, but the story of itself of like arcade games getting kids like maybe fucking them up or trying to like maybe test some shit, because the only reason why I think that the government may have gone to that level, this is 1980. This is still the Cold War era. America was fucking wild savage during that time and thought that everybody in America was being corrupted by communism, all the way from like back during the 60s, from the 50s all the way up to the fucking 80s till the Berlin Wall got knocked down and shit and all types of stuff, and the USSR collapsed. America was super duper paranoid about communism to the point where I think we talked about before, like a couple podcasts ago, like with with some movies, like Hollywood has like if as far as Hollywood executives have to go, if they want to do anything to like a movie involving anything military wise, they have to consult the Pentagon, and the Pentagon's like, okay, we can tell you what you can use, what you cannot use, and the Pentagon basically kind of like produces the movie for them on what they want and cannot say, and I feel like on some level too, on some video game shit, it was like, yo, like, hey, I was had a theory about what games like Call of Duty. A lot of people like Call of Duty. I think a lot of times it's kind of like, I think it's propaganda. I ain't gonna lie. I think Call of Duty is like really propaganda. Like, hey, you white guy with gun, brown people bad, or some shit like some. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like it gets you in that weird mindset because a lot of people join the military sometimes because I've heard stories where people play Call of Duty. It's like, I want to be in the military, and that shit is nothing remotely close to on the level of what Call of Duty can be. But I feel like sometimes it can be used as a tool. Like, hey, you really want to fight for America? Like, yo, play this game, and you want to shoot that gun? Join us, and then you'll never get a job remotely close to that in the military. I promise you. As I look into the camera, I promise you will never have a job anything close to what Call of Duty is going to give you. I promise you. It's going to be much worse. And then you're probably going to get a divorce. But that's neither here nor there. But
I want to do little drone strikes.
Actually, no, you got to pay the child support first.
Like from the comfort of your own home, doing drone strikes.
Yeah, a lot of people I don't know if they do it for
Fuck, that's crazy.
Dang.
Ain't that crazy? You can still get PTSD from doing some shit like that.
I always thought that would be kind of creepy because imagine like you're a stalker and you're following somebody and you just fucking stab them back of the head like you're stalking. That's how this is with a predator drone because the people that you're killing with the predator drone, they're not gonna know they're gonna die. In fact, when they die, they're not gonna know they died.
Yeah,
because it happens so quick. So it's like
I hear like stories about those people that's controlling the drones. Like they're retired now, but they're saying like still like they still have PTSD from because they are like killing people and they're just doing it through like a remote control, which is that's crazy, right? Killing like innocent people. Maybe they're innocent, maybe they're not, but you know you're killing people.
Oh, there's been times when they've blown up like fucking weddings and shit. There's been times they've done some shit like, yo, there was nobody there. They was doing a wedding. Why would you just kill the whole wedding?
And then like they retire, then they're opening up coffee shops and shit. But then like in the back of like their head, like fuck, like how many lives did
like,
you?
I'm trying to go to sleep. Like, damn, it felt like a video game to me. But in reality, when you start seeing you're like, holy fuck, I just killed like a whole fucking building of people.
Crazy.
It's disturbing, man. And I feel like, and that's why sometimes I feel like video games. I mean, I'm joking. I don't know. I'm on the conspiracy side. I feel like video games kind of trying to set up people to get desensitized to it. But
I think so.
I don't think it's like I don't think most people can become desensitized to it. Like if I were to kill somebody, depending on the circumstances, because everybody has their own limit of how far they'll go to kill somebody. Like, you know, if your child's in danger, would you shoot this man and save your child? Like, everybody has that type of limit. But I do think I think specifically like they're trying to find that one guy that was like that one soldier they want, that one psychopath that they need to craft into a machine. Because
like remember like back in the 90s, right, where violent video games,
oh shit,
you would see it all over the news, like Mortal Kombat so violent, like we can't have your kids playing this. But then you fast forward to like 2000s with Grand Theft Auto, you see all the shit that Grand Theft Auto get away with.
Oh, that got fucking crazy.
So, like, for sure, like, if you're trying to desensitize, like, a new generation, Grand Theft Auto be, like, number one. Because did you see Grand Theft Auto on the news, people on the news fighting about how violent Grand Theft Auto is?
Yeah, there's blaming that shit on everything.
It wasn't, like, at the scale of how they were trying to ban Mortal Kombat.
Oh, no, Mortal Kombat was, like I think it's, like...
Just because they have a little bit of blood and the fucking
yeah, you weren't seeing... Yeah, Mortal Kombat was, like, you seen, like, people get decapitated and shit, spines getting ripped out.
See, wild, Grand Theft Auto, it's more like real life. Yeah. Jacking cars, fucking killing people on the street, running them over. That's, like, more real life shit.
Oh, for real.
So if you think, like, the new generation playing this shit, like, you would think, like, subconsciously they were already getting desensitized by already playing this in the game. So when they will see this happen in real life, it wouldn't even affect them because they're already so used to like playing the shit in the game. I mean, we don't know because like we grew up in the era before that shit happened and then after it happened. So we were like before and after. So we already know what the deal is. But the kids that were born in the new generation where they just went straight into that internet zone where they see all this shit like straight up, that's a different generation. We don't know how their brain works because they're born with that shit.
Yeah, and it's
And that's scary.
I always do think about like this though too, because a lot of people think like after the 2000s, the world got a little bit more violent. At least, I mean, maybe the planet may have, but I know as far as America, if you look at like how the 80s and 90s were, America was fucking. That shit was like bang bang shooting. America was wild back then. 2000s, it's calmed down. I think it's mainly because too. Like I see like the conditioning kids like with video games a little bit like on that level, but as far as the society as a whole, crime is not nearly as bad as it used to be back like in the 80s and 90s.
It's all done through the internet now.
But also too, because like we also live in like in well, I gotta say a police state. We live in I don't know if the word is right, but like a security state. There's cameras everywhere. You can't do shit without a fucking camera.
Like not just that, like we police ourselves.
Yeah, and that's all it is. Yeah,
I think that's what they wanted. They wanted people to start. You censor yourselves,
like,
and then like we're like an example of that because we would say some shit and then we would catch ourselves and be like, we gotta calm down.
Yeah, like, not trying to
we
get
gotta
canceled.
calm down on that shit that sounds like halfway borderline racist.
Yeah.
Because I'd be saying some shit that do sound racist, but I'm not racist.
No,
but I'm just trying to make a joke. And I think comedians right now, like the top comedians, they're afraid to make jokes like that now.
No, I feel like the top comedians now.
Yeah, like I
kind
think
of they kind of like fuck this line.
Yeah, they're trying to say fuck this line because like Bill Burr, he brought up that one shit talking about all the people complaining about shit like that.
Oh yeah.
Then Chappelle came out, he was doing the same shit, and then another comedian was doing the same shit.
Andrew Schultz.
Bill Burr was like, man, fuck this shit. Like you guys want to say what you guys want to say, just say it.
Andrew Schultz was another one.
Him.
He got Netflix special coming out too.
I heard.
Yes, I'm.
Yeah.
It's like a 4-parter. I think. Shit, I think it is out. Today's 15th.
Katie Long, let's go.
Katie, what's good? How you doing, honey? That's good.
Fan favorite is here. Let's go.
Okay, so let me get back to this shit. Let me get back to
Polybius.
Polybius. All right. So, anyways, a lady cat, right? She's a journalist. Goes to an old town. Goes like does an investigation. Blah blah blah.
So she's investigating the Polybius conspiracy.
Yeah, which she used to live there. She never heard of it growing up at all.
How old is she?
I'm not sure of age, but I'm sure she would have to be maybe like in the maybe mid to late 40s if she was like
okay, so she was old enough to be in the arcades.
Or like within the 80s, so she would remember that. And she says she does not remember any of that shit. I mean, even if she was our age, she would remember arcades. We had arcades growing up too, but
Street Fighter,
maybe like late 90s, it kind of fucking died out. Maybe I think, but she remembers arcades back then, and she wants to do an investigation, and she winds up coming across like a guy named Michael Lopez who was lived in the same town as her. He's 14 years old, right? And he's one of the kids who experienced the shit, right? Basically, he's challenging friends on Atari's a Tempest game, right? And he was trying to beat his buddies for like the best personal score and shit. And so this is like from Michael Lopez's perspective. He's like, according to Lopez, he still lives in Seattle. He actually lives in Seattle, Washington. And he's a nightclub owner, so she actually had to go to Seattle to go see him because that's how much he was like following the breadcrumbs. Like, okay, this kid's name is Michael Lopez. Where's he at? Oh, he's a grown ass man. He lives in nightclub owner. So she went to Seattle, Washington to go find this dude, and he said him and his friends were battling out at the Malibu Grand Prix arcade, taking turns on the game. When in the middle of the game, he began to feel strangely, and this was his account of the situation. He was like, I began to feel a weird sensation in the back of my head. Then my vision started going out. Little flashing lights. That's what you start seeing. Then suddenly I got sick and stumbled outside where I threw up all over the parking lot. One of my friends walked with me back home, but we didn't make it all the way there. We didn't make it all the way there. My head hurt so bad. It got to where I couldn't speak and I couldn't walk anymore. So I clapped on someone's front lawn 4 blocks from my house, rolling and screaming in pain. It felt like my head was cracking open. Someone called the cops. Someone called the cops. That was the first migraine headache I ever had. I had them off. He said on and off for them since then. That's when he started having migraines for the rest of his life, on and off. And it says after that, he says, but it was freaky because I didn't know what was happening at the time. So basically, like that was a kid, Michael Lopez playing.
So he pretty much like had like a little seizure.
Basically, that's what it sounds like.
An epilepsy moment.
Couldn't walk, couldn't do shit. He can speak. So I was like, yeah, he had an epileptic moment. That's what it sounds like. thrown up all over the place. And then so like after that,
But what makes like his account real? Was it like documented like by the news? Because I heard some other shit saying like the news documented like a whole bunch of kids were getting sick playing an arcade game.
Now there were stories that came up of where they had gotten sick off of it, and whatnot. The only thing is though, was like there was like other stories too that the news didn't really report of, because if anybody who knows anything about like the 80s, especially the fucking 80s in America, I'm gonna give you the landscape of the 80s in America. The 80s of America was a wild time, mainly because in suburban areas, there was this weird trend going on with like, suburban communities.
Crack.
Especially, no. That was black communities. With white suburban communities, a huge, like, well, black folks was dealing with crack in the 80s. In a lot of white communities, they were dealing with cultism, like cults, like the occult type shit. That's what they think they was dealing with. So everything that was happening within their community was a cult. So just like bad kids in the neighborhood, I bet you they're part of a cult. It was like some kind of like some devil shit always going on in suburban. There's a documentary about like the 80s America and suburban America.
So Americans, they were into cults back then.
No, they weren't. They was like, it was almost like the Salem witch trials type shit, but for the 80s.
Oh.
Like, hey, you that bad kid, Jimmy, you see them bad group of kids down there and be bullying people? I bet you they're part of a cult. Or they, like, everything was like, it was like just kind of just like the accusations of like everything within this community is always pointed back to the devil. Like, oh, they're probably part of a cult. They're probably devil worshippers.
I think because like back then, like they didn't have the internet, so they didn't have like stuff like Reddit where you can have your own like community making like people that like shit like feet and stuff. And there's like a cult for people that like people with feet.
I mean, yeah, it's a little different. I mean,
but then back then they didn't have the internet, so they were like public about all this shit. So their cults are fucking known like out loud.
Yeah,
like,
well, with the internet, it's kind of like, you like the feet.
Yeah, you can go underground with that shit.
You like the feet shit, there's other like, hey James, you like feet? You're not alone.
So the cults like never died.
The internet's like made it like more like, hey, like if you got like a weird kink, I don't like kink shaming. Everybody
there's like a kink for everything.
It's like, whatever you like. I don't know, fucking eating plastic or some shit. I don't fucking know that. Yeah. There's a website for you for that. It's like,
yeah, back then in the 80s, like they didn't have internet, so their shit was like they had to put that shit on like a poster board.
The only thing they do was like the devil.
Yeah. Finders cult. Like we like little boys.
And there was wild shit back then. And then like also too with with a lot of these stories with like when kids were collapsing and like having these issues with these arcade machines within the suburban area of like Beaverton and whatnot within Portland, they would think it was all occult related. Like, oh shit, we gotta keep our kids away from these devil machines.
I would think so, because you're playing a game, making you throw up, making you hallucinate and shit.
And so Michael Lopez winds up going along with this story, right? He says, Michael Lopez, right? After he has his seizure moment, his epileptic moment, he winds up going to school. Everybody in school fucking know about it. Like, man, what happened? Like, what the fuck? Like, are you okay, man? Like, everybody's talking to him. Like, yeah, I'm fine. Like, I went to the doctor. I got checked out. And then, mind you, this is time before the internet. So he's like, I got checked out. Finds out I had like a severe migraine that the game gave me. But didn't nobody know about migraines back then. Believe it or not. The 80s may not seem like it was far away, but when you look at like how people are back then to now, it's a long time ago. Like it's 40 years now. It's a different world now.
So all that shit like went down.
Yeah, this is like legit shit. A lot of stuff too with other kids that they was trying to find. They had incidences where police officers had to be called to it.
See, that's like one of the reasons why they banned the game.
Which one?
Where supposedly like they pulled the game out of the arcade because a lot of kids were getting sick from it. But then after they pulled that shit from the arcades, that's when the conspiracy
shit started. Yes, that's when
they're saying, hey, I think it was like some CIA Men in Black type shit.
And that's where Michael Lopez, what I'm saying within this story, he says,
is he Mexican?
I hope so.
Lopez?
George Lopez, Michael Lopez. I mean, I'm gonna go with yes. I mean, West Coast too.
I think it's real then.
His family's probably originally from.
I think it's real, and Mexicans wouldn't lie like that.
His family's probably originally from Oakland. I mean, they just happened to move up to fucking.
That's racist. So Mexicans all from Oakland.
No,
it's from Mexico, man.
We don't know that either. Man, I'm getting back to the story.
We're gonna get canceled.
That's it. This is it. This is the last episode.
You did it, Chris.
Okay.
So what happened to Lopez?
All right. So with Michael Lopez, right? So he talks about when he was at school, right? After that, everybody, all the kids
They
fucking
all
knew about
talked
shit.
about. They said
Everybody.
you're a piece of shit. You threw up. You
Everybody knew about
sorry
this shit.
ass.
He was the kid at the school that everybody
fucking
knew.
low score Max. Low score kid.
See, look,
Low score kid.
Oh my god! It says, there were kids at school who, after hearing about what happened to me, this is what he's saying. There were kids at school who were, after hearing about what happened, would not play it. So basically, like, kids were finding out about it. Like, parents were finding out about it. Kids were finding out about it.
So it has to be real
Like,
then.
the kids were like, "We're not gonna play this fucking game anymore." Like, kids got scared of it, right? And it says, they play every other game but that one. So no kids were touching that bullshit he was on, that the Tempest shit. It says they actually thought it would damage your brain. But then there were guys who now want to play it. So, you know, you want that other side is gonna be like, yo, I want to try this shit out. It says, it became like a challenge or something. It says, but it was hard to find it after that. It was just kind of up and disappeared. Like,
So how long was it in the arcade before they took it off?
It could have been that damn long. It could have been a year, I think.
See, that's why it was.
Yeah, a year is not long. A year is fucking fast as shit. It says, but it was hard to find it after that. It was just kind of disappeared for a while, and I always wondered. I always thought it was weird. And he also talks about too when he was in high school. He's trying to explain to people like, look, man, I had a fucking headache. I had a migraine. I got checked out. Like, the game just kind of like did something to my brain. And I guess whatever the doctor told his parents and his parents told him, and he had a better understanding of what happened, he tried to tell other kids this at school, right? This is where I can see the urban legend picking up. You had most of the kids were kind of like, man, that fucking game really did mess you up. You really believe that? And then he's like, no, like, I'm just telling you, like, this is what happened to me. The kids was like, yo, they got you. and then some kids, like, of course, the kids at school, you know, kids like don't know how to keep their mouth shut. Probably went home like, Mom, Dad, fucking Michael Lopez, yo, he all messed up. That machine did something to his brain. Like, he trying to say there's nothing wrong with him, because he said, like, after when it was over with, he felt fine, but trying to explain to his friends, because he was acting normal, it was like, yo, they got you. This is like, it was that type of shit. Like, yo, they got Mike.
You know what I think about all this shit?
What's that?
I think it is real. Like, it was a real arcade machine. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing, that what made it into a conspiracy was because, like, the arcade just picked up and left, and then there's no traces of it. Yeah. So then the people are like, dude, we were there. Like, we played this shit. Like, I got sick from playing this game. Like, how are you going to tell me that this arcade don't exist? So people, they went on their little journey trying to fucking find this arcade machine. Nobody can find it anywhere. And, you know, everybody that's describing this arcade, they describe how, you know, the font look on the Polybius. They said it looks exactly like this. It's made from, like, this company that started with, like, an S. It's something like a Russian company or something. Some shit like that.
Fuck, I know what you're talking about. It's like, it doesn't mean silent. It's like put some dots over it.
Some weird company, but the kids, they're saying the font look like this. Like, they're saying the game really did exist, but you know, their minds are boggled, because they're like, dude, where the fuck is this arcade machine? Because it just got up and went away. And that's when the conspiracy started saying, like, hey, like, was this arcade machine really made for, like, kids to have fun, or was it made for, like, let's say, to recruit, like, I guess the kids that can solve the puzzle in the game, and then they would recruit, like, new members to, like, the CIA, I guess, because maybe this is, like, before, because, like, in 2000s when they did the cicada puzzle, cicada something number or whatever, and then they drop all these fucking clues on the internet. People have to figure out the puzzle, and then they can go to the next level. Let's say, like, a K-Ron Spliff, thanks for following.
Appreciate it.
But let's say, like the puzzles back then, they used it, like, in the arcade instead of the internet. So they use, like, the arcade machine, like Polybius, to see if they can like recruit new members that can think, like, outside the box. See if they can solve, like, these arcade puzzles. But then when they realize, oh, these kids are fucking throwing up, they can't even complete this puzzle, like, fucking go take that shit out. And then they took it out so fast where the kids were like, hey, what happened to this machine? So people forgot about it until, like, I guess, like, the 2000s when it came back up on the scene, and people wanted to investigate, like, hey, like, everybody know this Polybius shit exists. Like, let's try to figure out what happened. Because here's, like, another reason why I think it's real. Because it was on a Simpsons episode.
Yeah.
If they went to the arcade, you can see the Polybius machine,
the
the
right-hand
Polybius
side.
arcade. Yeah.
The reason why I came across
Like everybody knew about this like back then. Like it was like that urban myth arcade that exists but didn't exist.
and like I came across this last week because Marvel had just released a new trailer for the Loki TV show, right? And then I was watching like this Easter egg breakdown in the trailer, and the Easter egg breakdown, you see in the background is like a Polybius fucking arcade machine, and the guy who's like talking about like, he's like, yo, see that background? That's Polybius, the arcade machine from the 80s. I was like, wait a minute, let me look this shit up, and that's how I got into it last week. I was like, oh, I was like,
crazy, right?
yeah, and I was like, okay,
Like
so,
yeah, like any like game developer, anybody that make games and shit, they all know about that because it's like the old school myth and shit. Like they all know about that. That's why The Simpsons had it in like an episode.
Which is funny too. You know how we talk about Polybius, right? You know, it's like
It's real.
not to get too deep into Cyberpunk 2077, right? You know, right now there's a part of the game. When your character gets to a point in the game, you can put on this machine on your head, right? It's called like a brain dance. Sends you to like this VR world, and basically since everybody has like cybernetic implants in their brain, you can see everything that's gone on in their life. Kind of like you can live through somebody else's life through this VR system.
Damn.
And it gets you addicted. So like, if I wanted to live the life of like Jay-Z, boom, put this this brain dance on.
See Beyonce swinging down a pole.
Dude, this is like it's very addictive to the game. Like, that's like people would rather live their lives as like these people, right?
If you can like do that right now, like which life would you guys want to look at? Like as far as like a celebrity or somebody that you admire, like who do you want to see like life like from their point of view?
Shit.
That you would be super curious, like how do they really live their life? I already know like my number one pick already.
My pick. I don't
Katie
know.
said video drone.
I really don't know. There's not really a lot of people I like celebrities. I'm like, dude, I want to be like them. I like them for their talent, but not like I want to live their life.
But you would be curious about, like, not just like their fancy life, but you'd be like, man, well, how do they really live their life?
For like maybe like because I don't know what the brain dance things like only for like a certain amount of time. You put me in an astronaut's body, man. I want to see that shit.
Astronaut?
Who the fuck
like
it
a
is?
normal person?
Normal people like in space because they're less than 1% of the people. Like being on Earth is one thing, but being in space is like it's fucking priceless. I bet just being up there and like there's only a handful of people in reality that's gone to space. I would like let me because like when you put the brain dance thing on too in 2077. You suppose you can like feel like Tenendo says Justin Bieber. Yo, he got that good hair.
Tenendo, you are Justin Bieber, man. You don't need to experience that.
you are him and he is you.
Katie says, how do spiders survive in space?
Yeah, for real. Like with the web and shit. they dead.
Fuck spiders. They can stay on Earth.
But I would want to experience that because you can feel all the sensations and stuff that a person that you're going through right now, like their fear, what makes them happy. You can experience all that within.
Mm-hmm. You know who
the brain dance thing.
You know who brain I want to go in just to see how they were thinking?
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be something crazy.
Stephen Hawkins.
Yeah, I was about to
say, imagine what's going on in his head because you can't talk or anything.
Yeah, if you confine to that body,
this is like the most incredible thing you can experience.
The imagination,
like the mind of a genius, right?
Because like
or supposedly genius, and then imagine you're in his head. It's like this guy's fucking fraud, right? I mean, I'm not saying it's a fraud, but I want to know how his thinking like while everything is quiet, everything is going on in his head. That's like one of the minds I want to see.
And you gotta think about
either like him or like fucking Elon Musk or something. Because Elon Musk is like every time I see him like in interviews, it doesn't feel like that's like the real Elon Musk. You know, it's like he's holding back. He's holding back a lot of shit.
Yeah, because get fucked.
That's why I was like either Elon Musk or Stephen Hawkins. But number one, Stephen Hawkins, because he can't say shit. And I want to know what the fuck he's thinking about.
And you gotta think about like when you can't do as much as he can, like, all the physical stuff that he like normal people can do. Mm-hmm. He just has many distractions. Only thing he's got is imagination in his brain. So it's just probably like fucking Disneyland on crack or some shit. It's like, I mean, he's got like his brain's probably just constantly having to work.
He's still writing like papers and shit while he's in a wheelchair, can't speak, but he's still writing, like doing research on paper. That's why I want to know what the fuck is going on in his head.
What was in his head?
Yeah,
he walking on both legs now. He free from that shell, man. Mm-hmm. He's free from it. He he doesn't even have like a form. It's just energy.
He's out there like a free soul
dude.
building rock and roll.
He's like, wow.
It's like, how the fuck you build rock and roll? Fucking Stephen Hawkins, man.
Stephen Hawkins out there like, wow, they're still walking on legs. How primitive. Like, I don't have no form. Just energy.
Katie says Videodrone is an older movie that addresses their issues on VR. Why
do I feel like this sounds familiar? Videodrone. I gotta look that up later. I think I might be thinking
What
about
is that?
movie.
VR is pretty cool though.
What's that?
VR. Like, I was gonna get the Quest 2, but then they said you need a Facebook account. I was like,
Nope.
But here's the thing, like I
That's how
heard
they
like
get
if you make like a fake Facebook account, they will brick your Quest.
I did hear that.
I was like,
I did hear about that. I
So
forgot
I have to make a real account.
Yeah, you have to have you have to show like, this is my life and
This is my license. This is really me.
This is me, Billy Waters, smiling in this picture. Like you really gotta. I forgot to tell you about that a while ago, man. You have to like.
I almost bought it.
You gotta be legit with it. You can't be like no. I don't know, man.
I miss playing like poker with people, like where you're actually moving and fucking shit. That shit's fun, man.
Good times. All right, so back to the story. This is okay. So after all that shit happened, right? So, fucking Beaverton, Oregon. Beaverton, Oregon, and all these other small towns up in Oregon and all that. They're getting hit with like all these kids having issues and all that, right? And then
Did any kid ever died from it? Any stories about that?
I've heard stories of like only 2 stories of like 2 men died. 2 men had heart attacks playing.
So it has to be real then.
2 men died. Now what if it's Polybius or some other game? 2 men died from this shit. I personally think that it was all a mind control experiment. That why would you settle for one game when you have all the arcades to experiment with?
Man, if it was real,
all of it.
If it was real, CIA back then is really sloppy. But here's why like they were sloppy. Because like back in the 70s and 80s when they were running the LSD era, when
they're sloppy with that shit.
They were putting a whole bunch of people on psychedelics, especially like college kids and shit. Dude, that shit was really sloppy, dude. They wrote a book about that shit on how the fucking CIA got people addicted. Well, not addicted, but people were using like LSD and they tricked them to doing like opening up like a whorehouse, right? And they would drug like the guys that would come to the whorehouse, put them on LSD, then have them like have sex with these women and shit.
Yeah, they just like
and see how they would react to like a high dose of LSD. Like it's crazy back then. Like the experiment like
Stupid
they
shit.
were doing back then, it's fucking because back then, like how they were documenting shit, they just wrote that shit in a notebook. It wasn't documented like on no internet, no network or nothing. It was all written down. So they got away with a lot of shit.
And they only let
That
you
shit,
know.
those were the dark days of CIA.
They only letting us know they only letting us know just a little bit. They ain't letting us know the whole truth. Though.
K. Ron says sounds like a party. That was like the realest parties.
Oh,
like,
that
back
was K. Ron.
then. Yeah, K. Ron wrong.
I thought they said Katie Long. My fault. I was trying to remember. Katie Long says, well, if you have holy shit. Well, if you have one, you are also testing appeal of the game. How many?
You gotta read it like in her voice.
I can't, dude. My eyes are straining right now.
I'll use this screen.
Oh, okay. I can't remember what her voice sounds like. I remember hearing your voice a long time ago, though. Is that? Well, if you have,
She don't sound like that.
well, if you. So, like, well, if you have one, you also testing appeal of game. How many people will approach it and actually play it versus other games? That's a good question. I mean, down there, like a lot of stuff they was trying to get, like, I don't know, just basically like try to get like maybe. What would draw people to that game, I guess? I don't know. Maybe like the challenge of it, because it seems like a lot of kids like how...
See, look, like back like those arcade days where you see if you see a new arcade machine, you're going to play it.
Yeah, you're
Because
wasting
that's the new game, you know? Because back then, you didn't see like when they would... There's no promotion on a new arcade machine.
No, you just show up and it's there.
Right. It's like you just show up to the arcade like, oh shit, they got a new fucking arcade machine. Everybody's going to jump on it.
Yeah.
They don't have to promote nothing because you would never see it on TV anyway.
And that's how it was back then. Like a lot of new machines that would show up had nothing, no colors on the side of it. It was just like black box, screen.
Yeah, because that's where they all went to play the arcade games.
There was a testing ground for it.
You didn't read a magazine about a new arcade game was coming up. It just, when a new machine drops, everybody's just there like, oh shit, new machine. Everybody jump on it.
All right, so then
I guess that's what happened with Polybius, and everybody just jumped on and played that shit.
K Long says they did a whole book on the studies conducted on just food and consumption of food to sale of it. I'm sure there's one of video games. Oh, probably sure, man. There's like people just like just straight up just people just sit down and just consume gaming and all that. Like, I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I like with like for example, like I'm not like an avid video gamer as much as I used to. Like I can barely get past maybe like an hour sometimes playing a game. After the hour, I'm kind of like, all right, I want to do something else, eat or something. Like I don't have that time like span for it. But for example, like with Cyberpunk 2077, I've been grinding the fuck out of that game to the point where after I go past 4 hours of playing, my game crashes. I don't know if my sister's like, oh shit, Chris is like, I can remember last time I played a game from for 4 hours. Like, let me. I don't know what my PS2. I don't know what my PS4 is thinking, but yeah, that's just like I don't know. Is it something about that game, man? Maybe it's like it's flashy looking and shit. I don't know. I mean, it's not like perfect. I mean, that's a whole other shit. But I don't know. Some people just get drawn to a game and they can't put the shit down, man.
Katie says, yes and no. Some used to just watch and decide if they wanted to stay and play versus going out to beat their high score on their game. She said that's another variable to consider. That's
true. All right, so there is one kid who did get sick playing the game, but it wasn't because of the game, though.
Like all kids?
I don't know. Like no, it's like one like back in the town, like Beaverton, when he was playing one of the arcade games, or maybe Polybius. He played it for like 28 hours straight.
Polybius?
Yes, supposedly it's supposed to be Polybius. Or some people say some people may say like it may have been Galaga. It might have been that. But either or he's playing an arcade game that got him sick to his stomach. But then when he went to the hospital, come to find out, he was up for 24 hours and all he was just drinking Coca-Cola. He wasn't eating or anything. So
damn, they had the luxury back then to do stuff like that.
20 hours straight he's playing, man. That's like that one dude in Japan who died in the cafe playing
World of Warcraft,
man. It's fucking collapsed.
K. Ron says everything is behind a paywall or unfinished games with DLC.
Hell yeah, that's true.
Especially mobile games.
Oh my god, man! You want to drop? Yo, we talked about a story earlier tonight about a kid who's in
mobile games, man.
A mobile game. He went ham on his mom's iPad and bought $16,000 worth of shit and some kind of Sonic Forces game or some shit. Mom has to pay $16,000 worth of it now.
Yeah, that's where the real money comes, man.
Yeah, that's why
developers. They all knew that. Even like the mainstream developers on the PlayStation shit, they knew that DLCs is gonna make them like the most money. Mm-hmm. They can release the game for free. What the fuck? They can release like the game for free and shit, and then just have a whole bunch of DLCs where they can make their character look better, and that's where they make the real money.
Yeah, it's like you like it's like we know you gotta go to work or
like League of Legends.
Like, hey, we know you're a busy person. You don't want to grind this much, but you pay $20. Yo, we'll give you all the good shit.
League of Legends, fucking Overwatch, all those esports games, like those big titles and shit. Now they have documentaries on leagues and shit. Leagues is huge. I remember Nintendo was trying to make me play leagues, like before leagues was big like that. Yeah. I should have fucking listened and played and shit. I would have been okay. Player.
My old roommate used to be on that shit like all the time. I'm like, that looks cool, but
yeah, that shit's still popping, man. And now they're gonna release like a mobile version.
Jesus.
It's like League's Wild Rift.
Trying to get them kids.
I'm gonna play that shit, dude.
Trying to get them kids on it now.
Because I was playing what's Mobile Legends, which is so similar to Leagues.
Oh yeah.
And it's built like pretty good, man. And now Leagues is like, man, fuck Mobile Legends. We're gonna bring our own shit out. So they're gonna drop that shit, and I'm gonna be on it.
Whatever the kids like, man. Shit.
The kids? You mean adults?
The kids, adults.
The young adults.
I think we all have a child inside of us.
Leagues is huge. It's huge, worldwide, huge, man.
I know.
They fill soccer arenas, football arenas. It's crazy how big that game is.
When I first saw my roommate back when I was living in Colorado, when he used to play it, it didn't look like a cool game, but it's just something I was like, kind of like, I'm onto that Fallout type shit or whatever. But when I saw him playing it, and I used to see him like raging, like, what the fuck, Tommy? You fucking dickhead. What you doing, man? Like, you need to be doing it. Like, I used to see my roommate. I would wake up at night.
Yo, I got a story too.
He'd be like, what the fuck? I'm like, Miles would be like, yo, open up. And he's like playing League of Legends, man.
Yeah. Dude, they be getting fucking crazy hype. Like, I remember, like, when I used to live with Jeremy and Bob, and Jeremy was playing leagues. Like, I think he was playing, like, leagues with, like, Nintendo. Dude, he would get so crazy. You would hear Jeremy fucking screaming and shit. I was like, damn, that game is that fucking hype like that? It'll be, like, 2, 3 in the morning, and then you just hear like, yelling. I was like, what the fuck? Like, is leagues, like, that wild? And it is that wild and shit.
Yeah. I think what it is like once you get enough wins and you take that first L, it feels a little different. Like, yo, I know I'm better than this. But then eventually you'll start coming across people who are like better than you, and like, man,
it gets more deeper than that.
I just feel like that's how games are. That's why I'm like, that's why I usually don't play like multiplayer anymore, because it's kind of like I see they trapped. I see the trap.
Nintendo knows.
It's like I see the like. That's why I don't really play like multiplayer as much as I used to. I see like the trap they try stuff to get you drawn in. It's kind of like. Man, yeah. I like playing games on my own speed, man, because I can't. I miss a day of playing like online, like against somebody. Like, I'm fucking behind. Like, you miss a day sometimes. It's like,
yeah, I don't like that shit. That's like I like playing like shit like day one, so I could know what the fuck's going on. Like I remember when Dragon Ball Fighter Z came out day one. I was like day one. And then I stopped playing, but then I came back and then I understand like everything. I was like, oh shit, I fucking see everything. It's like,
get it now.
You know, you see everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Same with any like crazy fighting game like Street Fighter or like Marvel vs. Capcom or like League of Legends. Like you'll see like if you watch like a high advanced play, like you'll watch it on the screen and then people would fucking react like crazy, like the whole crowd's yelling. And then you look at it, right? Like an untrained eye will be like, what the fuck is going on? But then the whole crowd is fucking going crazy, like, oh shit. You know, they would do like, some crazy wild moves and shit. Teneno knows. Teneno, he plays that shit.
Yeah, Leagues is free, yeah. It's always been
that shit
free.
Taking over the world, man.
I didn't know that shit was still blown up. I've been heard about it.
That's like one of the games that's not going to die. Damn. It's like Counter-Strike. It's like one of those games.
Oh, God, yeah. Oh, Lord.
It's like forever, like.
I ain't know it's going to hit them levels.
It's not going nowhere. Leagues is not going nowhere. That's that type of game, man. It's like chess. You think chess? Do you think they're gonna stop playing chess? Nope. Leagues is like that. It's like in that category.
God damn, that just
it's getting there. It's like you can't get rid of it.
I actually never thought about that, but yeah, is like something.
You can almost put it in like the same like category, like people like chess is gonna last forever. You can't just throw away chess. Like leagues is just like that. That's how wild it is.
No, hey, whatever keeps them entertained, man.
You have like stadiums filled with kids just cheering on these teams.
I've been seeing some clips. I'm like, what the? I'm like, damn. Like, why do my parents tell me to stop playing games so much? Like, this shit is. What have you done to me?
It's wild, man.
All right.
Katie says, if you remember nerds getting their ass handed to them back in the days, not no more, right? The nerds are like the other end of the
no, man, that
spectrum.
That nerd shit kind of took over now. That shit is like, God, it's like
the jocks. Like they make fun of the jocks now.
Yeah, the jocks.
That's what I'm hearing. Like what's going on in high school?
You fucking meathead. Like
it's lame to be like the jock now.
Well, actually, no. I'll put it like this.
That's just what I heard. I don't know if it's true.
I don't know how it is for adults. I mean, I don't know how it is for kids, but as for like adults, the shit's done shifted. Where like, okay, that. A lot of women don't even like that muscular shit when you're an adult. They're like, yo, I want like just a normal looking dude. Someone, I don't know what's been going on. Women like them dad bods now. I don't know what's going on. It's like a movement.
The dad bods.
Dad bod. I guess that's like.
Or like some nerds.
No, just like dudes with like regular looking bodies. Not like no fucking I live in the gym all day type shit. Like.
Talking about me and you, right?
I guess like regular folks, yeah.
Fuck.
I feel like
that mean we're the target.
What
you're describing is like what I think you're describing.
This is
you're describing us. Fuck, dude, we're targets.
10 says nerd bods. There we go. That's the best way to put it.
Nerd bods. What is a nerd bod?
Just we can run fast, I guess. I mean, flexible, like, loosey goosey. We can get out all types of situations.
It's like no definition.
Someone tries to grab you, just be like slip out, like just run.
Like get off. Get off. Like you're flexible.
Stop it. Just run. Yeah, we got
Kay
it.
says you don't know what women want.
No, I really don't. I really don't. I like to think I do though sometimes. I mean, they're predictable, I guess. Look, I'm not getting into this. I gotta get back to my topic.
You gotta tell them what you want.
Yeah, for real.
You gotta tell them what they want.
We're not mind readers, Katie. Right? You don't let us know communication is key. Let me get back to this topic, man. We've been went off the damn rails.
Okay, says nerdbot equals that thing that, what is that? Carlots.
Cause that flips around with the wind.
I can't read.
I can't. I don't know.
What is the hell of a Carlots?
What is a Carlot, Katie? Teach us.
Jesus Christ.
I can't.
Continue, Chris.
I feel like she's about to trip on us. Like, I don't know. I'll watch this show.
You guys are
idiots. I don't know. I'll watch this show. The air balloon thing. Duh.
Carlots? Yeah, we don't know.
Oh, Carla. What? Okay, so Jeremy says the air balloon thing. Oh, you talking about the motherfucker with the swinging arms and shit.
Oh.
Okay. That's what it's called? I just called him. What do we call him?
Oh. I'm thinking Carlots was something else. But you're talking about the Carlots with the shit that
They'd be like,
flips. Okay, we got it. I just never seen the word Carlot before.
I didn't know. Is there a name for it? But Carlot.
No, you confused
me. Sorry, I thought it was called Carlot, but
yeah, she put it in one word that confused me.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. My bad. Go ahead.
Okay, right. So let's bring it back. Holy shit.
Hey, we're slow live.
All right. So let's bring it back. All right. So Mario Lopez went to a school. Mario Lopez. Jesus Christ. AC Slater. Fucking Michael.
Yo, speaking of AC Slater.
The KFC shit?
He's the AC guy.
Yeah,
I mean, not AC. He's the KFC guy.
Yeah. He's the KFC dude. He's like a 15-minute movie.
He looked just like him.
Man, no, he don't. The kind of look like a fucking racist man. No.
Dude, Casey Slater looks like the AC guy. The KFC guy. He looks just like him with the glasses, but then he got like his the shoulders cut off on his t-shirt.
He don't look nothing like him.
He looks like the box.
His last name is Lopez, first of all. How is he gonna look like Colonel Sanders?
He looks like a Sanders.
From Kentucky. He looks like he's from Kentucky.
He looks like a Sanders. But go ahead, continue on this Lopez guy.
Okay, so God damn. All right, Michael Lopez, right? So after he had this whole seizure moment, kids were like, yo, he's tripping, he's brainwashed, and then after that, some of the kids wanted to challenge him. You can have my last one if you want. And so the kids wanted to go in and challenge him. Like, yo, let me hop on this game. Let me see this shit works because I want to have a migraine too. All right, so this is 10 days later, right? So this is where the conspiracy comes in, where a lot of people start thinking that the Men in Black were showing up at these arcade machines, right?
That's where I think they're making up the story.
I think because like you got to think about from like a kid's perspective, who may have been like obviously the adults at the time were probably like only getting their firsthand information, maybe from like the kids or you got to think about from a kid's perspective. The arcade place that you like, fucking Men in Black are running up in that bitch, right? And they're like, I'm guessing like how this is like, what the story goes is that the Men in Black was running up in there, and then they're checking on these machines and shit. Just doing like some data mining shit. They was trying to figure out what the hell was going on in these machines, and suppose it's like they're drawing out data from the machines and trying to see like, okay, is it effective enough to brainwash these kids? And let's see what's going on. That's the urban legend of see if it was effective with these kids getting fucked up or whatever, the brainwashing. And I think the story kind of like comes off of is like from the real story. It's just like, all right, so this is basically like 10 days later after Michael Lopez with his whole epileptic moment with Tempest. This is 10 days later. News flashed around the state saying that local police and federal agents, that's why like a lot of people was calling like the Men in Black at the time that was showing up at the place, stormed several bars, lodges, and arcades in Beaverton and Portland area in a video game raid. So this is a time where arcades were getting raided like a motherfucker. Like the FBI was rolling in
for gambling.
It's a whole bunch of shit going on.
I can see that happening back then.
Yeah,
I would see like them like closing like the arcade down for the kids, and then they open up that whole gambling session. I'm pretty sure that was huge back then because I know like in the 2000s, I know some people that do that shit in real life, like they fucking use their house for gambling.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's kind of like back in the day, like how during the Prohibition,
yeah, just like that.
People like had like speakeasies underneath like fucking library or some shit. But basically, hide it during the daytime and then at night, turn up.
Like freedom of speech night.
Right?
Say what you want,
because
there's no internet back then. You can't really speak with like hiding behind a keyboard.
Speak easy also.
Hey, thank you, Cookie Monster.
Thank you.
For the follow. Thank you.
Tell us how you really feel about Don Cheeto and his black ass. I like that. But it's like, freedom of speech night. Like, tell us how, there's no judge. This is a judge-free zone. But as arcades and so they were storming arcades up in Beaverton and Portland area, and this is called like the video game raid. It says according to Oregonians,
Oregon.
I don't know. I got
people that live in Oregon.
I don't know how I got that shit off too. I was about to stumble on that.
So they call them Oregonians?
According to the Oregonian, woof, look it over here.
That sounds right.
Rosetta Stone over here. On December 9th, 1981, after years of surveillance of warrants, after years of surveillance, they wound up doing, I issued a warrant out to a 48-year-old dude who's running like this arcade operation. And he wound up admitting when they caught his ass is, he was rigging his games up to up for gambling by wiring the games with a counter to record how many games a player had accumulated for play. The arcade owner was illegally paying out money instead of points because you're supposed to be getting points for playing the game. They just get out money like, you breaking records and shit, you get some money back. But if you're losing, we keep your money. So it's like if you win 8 games, then you will win 8, like something like a prize, and then like a
gamble machine.
Yeah, but if you get to 16 games, you lose all 16 games, and we keeping all your money. It basically that's how he's wiring it. And I remember like when I was reading something before about when they locked his ass up, they confiscated all the machines, and they basically like unwired him and all this other shit, and reprogrammed it to the true purpose. And they wound up selling them on like police auctions and shit like that. But he only got like 5 months probation or some shit. It wasn't like he didn't really see like no jail time. I guess different time back then. I guess it was just.
But I think today he wouldn't even get locked up for that.
I know it'd be a fine probably. Like, take this ticket. We'll see you. I mean, you probably still get probation too. I
think like because of COVID, it's more harder to get locked up now.
Man, yeah, prisoners are fucking. You know what I found out? Like, prisoners are one of the first people to be getting the vaccine too. Prisoners got hit real bad during COVID.
Well, I would think they would want to test it out on them.
A country that's really big on the prison industrial complex system, they ain't gonna never bring that up to you, brothers and sisters. But prisoners really got fucked up over this shit. It was inhumane.
They're the guinea pigs.
They was leaving them there to die for the most part. So they watched it like a month later. Seattle, Washington. There was also another police raid. They gathered like a bunch of like Pac-Man machines, and actually like 25 people got arrested in this shit. An intent to sell stolen property on the site. So a lot of times these arcade places wouldn't even just like trying to like just use gambling. There was fencing off items too. Like, hey, I stole this. Like, how much can I get for this fucking diamond ring I just robbed from this lady or whatever? It's a fencing off area and shit like that.
Okay, I got a question. So is that Polybius game, was it only like at this one arcade in Oregon? Or was Polybius like spread out through like the whole
It's supposed to be like
state?
only a couple throughout the state, and then when shit went wrong, they all got snatched up. Supposedly that's how the story.
Okay, so
it was like
that arcade was in more than one arcade.
That was from my understanding. It's supposed to be more than one location, not one machine.
Oh,
because it was happening. It was different.
I always thought it was like one location where they put this Polybius machine at.
Now there was I think originally when I was reading about before, people were thinking there's at one arcade because at this one arcade at the main one, the Grand Prix one or what the fuck it is, kids were getting sick there though, like getting headaches though. But it was different machines though. But it was also kids getting sick everywhere else too playing these games. So that's why I was thinking like, okay, maybe the legend may have been different places. Maybe some people may say it might be that one spot. I figured it always was like different locations because just based off of like kids were getting sick all over the area, like not just this one town. I mean, like it's not like epilepsy and all this other shit. It's like conditioned just for like Beaverton, Oregon. You know what I'm saying? It's gotta be. Kids were catching that shit everywhere else too.
It's like that ring shit, you know?
Yeah, it's getting passed on.
The VHS tape.
Was it VHS tape? The VHS tape?
Spreading that shit.
Oh, yeah, there you go. And that's how they just threw games, I guess.
Man, curses back then hit harder than today.
Nah, yeah.
I remember when they used to sell like these books at the library, like those where you put like your book order in. Remember when they send like the book orders to your classroom and then you pick what book you want? And then they would always have like this crazy haunted looking
the Scholastic school book shit.
Yeah, where they have these crazy books where they tell all these ghost stories and shit. But they be having like legit ghost stories, like with Ouija boards and stuff. Some witchcraft bullshit. I was like, damn, like they have books like this in the school library order book.
Man, I used to get like Animorphs. I ain't getting like the hell. I ain't
This is like before Animorphs started.
Like Goosebumps era.
This before that too.
God damn, was it 80s?
No, it's like early 90s.
Holy shit, I remember. I never really. I don't even remember that.
They used to bring like these book trucks like to my neighborhood. I used to,
to neighborhood. I'm thinking like to the schools. Yeah,
it wasn't out here. I don't even think they did it out here.
No, they didn't do it out here.
Yeah, like out there, like in San Jose, they would have like these school trucks, right? Mm-hmm. They have a whole bunch of books and shit. You could just run up there. This is at night too. Like the sun is setting, and you could still go in these school trucks and get books and shit.
Okay,
like it was crazy. Is Bob in here? She know about that shit.
Did they ever get robbed selling these books?
No, this is different times.
I mean,
like they'll be like side by side with a nacho truck and shit because they got like the food nacho
and
truck.
The books. Oh my god, that shit was not out here.
That shit be lit, man. They got the nacho truck out there too.
That's how the world seems so evolved, man.
It's more advanced out there. Like when I came out here, I felt like I told you, it was like a blast from the past. Like when we moved out to Georgia, it's almost like we went like fucking 30 years in the past. I was like, holy shit, they got these lights on the wires. Like we were tripping, dude, and we saw the cop cars out here. I was like, oh fuck, we moved to the wrong place.
Like, oh my god, this air smells old out here.
No, it smells clean.
Out in Georgia?
Yeah, like the air smells so good. I was like, fuck, it smells good out here.
No, yeah, I heard LA. Oh no, I heard that. Yeah, I heard it was like fucking bad out there.
Yeah, out there, dude, the air is bad. When we came here, dude, you could smell like every fucking little tree branch and shit. I was like, wow, this is what it's supposed to smell like.
Dang. This is what a pine cone smells like?
Yeah, but then you get so used to it, you don't even notice it.
You know, like last year, like Snoop Dogg came across, I think it was like last year, Snoop Dogg, like, I don't know if you like put up a video or whatever, but he was like, yo, this is my first time I ever seen a pine cone. But he's like from Compton and shit.
You know, I never seen a squirrel till I moved out here.
and that's why like nobody believes Snoop Dogg when he's like, yo, this man's in his 50s and he's like, yo, I've never seen a pine cone before. This is amazing. Yeah, everyone's like, this is bullshit. I'm like, I was like, yo, you be surprised.
I never seen a pine cone.
There's no pine trees like there out there. I would assume like fucking palm trees and shit.
It's crazy. Yeah, I never seen a squirrel till I moved out here. There's a lot of shit. I never seen a chipmunk. I never seen a lot of shit. I never seen trees like that, like in the wild.
Like a tree. Like a Bob Ross tree.
Yeah, because like in LA, they have to plant those trees. They put those trees there.
No, this shit is like
over here. It's like it's real.
Out here, they plant palm trees. Like if you go to Savannah, planted.
Oh, they plant.
They be planting them. You can see.
That's different. That's different.
But it's like the opposite of what.
Yeah.
The other side
like out here, there's real trees. Like trees in the backyard. Those are real trees.
Neighbor says, air we got out here is hella clean. I don't know, man. My shit be stinking on my side of town. I don't know how we smell it. But, well, I don't know.
They got real trees out here.
We got a lot of trees up. Yeah, we got forests. Yeah, that's true. We got forests out here. You get lost real quick.
Yeah, that's the one thing like I like about out here.
Forest?
Like, with all the trees and shit. Like it's still not all cut down.
I hate that shit.
I like it, dude.
Man, no, because I like last week, it was like 11 o'clock at night, and I was like, okay, let me take a break from Cyberpunk. Let me go take out some trash right quick. And I opened my door. As soon as I opened my door and I looked down, like I thought it was like this cat I be taking care of. Like he comes to my porch every now and again. I give him some food or whatever. He cool ass cat. He one of the homies. And I was about to step outside. And right before I was about to step outside, I just saw something white on my porch. Like I just saw it like out to my peripheral. And I looked down, fucking possum. And it was like,
oh.
And it was like, and I was like, ah. And I slammed the door and I was like, and I live next to like a fucking little forest area. It's like, fuck, I hate this shit. So I gave it like a couple minutes and I opened up the door and I looked around and then he was gone. I was like, man, fuck this. I threw the trash in and I ran back inside and like when I was like, see, like
it was like an all white possum?
All white, man. Like,
albino possum?
Like, I think that was always like white.
I thought they were like black and white.
I think they might come like gray or some shit. It might be like it's like
gray.
Like
a raccoon.
Yeah, like okay. Yeah, he was like white. Like
yeah.
Like as white as I don't know, my fucking phone, I guess.
Damn, albino raccoon.
Well, he's about to be albino dead because I was about to run in my room. I was about to light his ass up.
Yeah, possums are nasty, man.
They're disgusting.
Fuck that animal.
Yeah, he was like, and I slammed the door. I was like, ah. And after I closed the door, I was like, wait a minute, this motherfucker's on my doorstep. I didn't go to his house. And I opened the door like a little bit, and he was like gone. I'm like, yeah, motherfucker. And I threw my trash away.
That's what I be saying too. Like when I see a spider in the house, I was like, I can kill you, and I'm not supposed to feel bad about it. Because I nobody tell you come in here.
But they're just trying to eat,
Right?
man.
Or whose house was it in the beginning?
You gotta think about it. Was this family
he
here first?
Before me?
Yeah.
Fuck. I'm in the wrong.
You robbed him. You fucking killed him. You robbed him in his house.
Like I never kill insects outside the house.
Nah, I just brush them
Because that's fucked up, right?
yeah, you're in this
Because
space.
they're outside. Like, why would you? What's the reason for you to kill them?
Now, if you come in my apartment, you have forfeited your life. I'm like, yo, I'm sorry. Like, unless you can fly out this, I'm gonna leave the window crack. If you can fly out there before I can kill you, you're good. But
Right.
I'm giving you a chance.
Like if I see a roach, right, like at night, and I'm like, man, I'm kind of lazy to kill you right now.
Oh, fuck that. I'm
You
wiping
make
that
your
out.
next move. Like either you get out the house, or if I see you the next day, I'm gonna kill you.
Talking about that big one, the big motherfuckers.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I'm wiping them out on sight. Like the corners of my apartment are like fucking Chernobyl. If they cross that line, I'll see them come in. I'm like, okay, this time of year they don't come out like that. But out here in Georgia, like during winter, like summertime, all over the place. My apartment's like Chernobyl. When they cross that line, I'll
It's like
watch
fair
them.
game, right? In the house.
No, my corners are sprayed so much they'll walk through it. I'll just watch them and they start shaking and fall. I'm like, yo, there's like radiation. Just like you will die. You will die if you cross the threshold. That's how
Like
my
there's
shit
this one
is.
time, right? There was a big ass spider like in the room and shit. I'm about to fall asleep. I'm tired and shit. Big ass fucking spider came out of nowhere. I was like, okay, I gotta kill you now, all right? So then I was about to kill this dude. This dude went like all the way like under the bed to where you can't even reach him no more. And he stayed there like stationary. I was like, and I'm waiting for this fool to move and shit, so I don't have to move the bed to kill him. And he stayed stuck there. I was like, man, fuck this shit. I'm gonna go to sleep. If he crawl and fucking kill me, that's cool. That's fair game. He won, you know. But I never saw him again, so I don't know where the fuck he went.
He's in your ear.
So fuck that spider.
He made a home inside your ear. That's what he
I
did.
fucking hate spiders, man.
All right.
Shit. Fuck those fools.
All right, so the last part of this shit, right? All right, we're gonna talk about Stephen Roach and his wife, Glenda, right?
I see you, Katie. Well, go ahead.
All right, so with Stephen Roach, right? Remember I talked about before? He's like supposedly like the developer and all this other stuff. Okay, here's the real story about Stephen Roach, right? And I think this is why he may have been tied into this conspiracy based off of what happened to him in real life. All right, so apparently, the story goes within urban legend, this guy Stephen Roach was one of the developers of Polybius, this, that, and the third, right? All right. Supposedly. So the lady Kat, who was doing like all these interviews and stuff, doing research, she winds up coming across Steve and Glenda Roach, right? And Steve Roach and his wife Glenda, they were both former police officers and were a part of an organization called Worldwide Association of Specialty Program in Schools, right? WASP, WWASPS.
So he's a police officer.
Former police officer, and
Damn.
he wound up being a part of like this program called Worldwide Association
He might be telling the truth then.
of Specialty Programs and Schools. His
I mean, I don't think he has nothing to gain from lying about that, right?
well, we're about to see.
But is he like a real deal like developer?
As far as she says, she's like, there's no truth in him. Like she found no evidence of his story of him being a developer being true, but what this guy really did in real life is fucking horrible, and I can see why the urban legend may tie him to Polybius. Because this dude, what this dude really did in real life is fucking horrible.
What he did in real life?
Okay, so all right, so him and his wife Glenda, they work for, like I said, the Worldwide Association of Specialty Programs in Schools, right? Comprised of a complicated network of companies and nonprofit organizations, run mostly from Laverkin, which is like a small town near St. George, Utah. Laverkin had at least 8 behavior modification schools located in Mexico, right? Had at least 8 behavior modification schools located in Mexico, Jamaica, Western Samoa, and the United States. So these behavior so they was being like this company they worked for, this organization was basically creating like these behavior modification schools. Basically like, hey, you have a horrible fucking badass kid, send them to us and we'll straighten them out.
Kind of like a boot camp.
Yeah, kind of like more like, hey, like kid boot camp type shit, like
like to fix your personality, your behavior.
I think it was like Maury. They used to do that shit, like, hey, send my kid to boot camp, Maury, and then, what the fuck it was?
And then they come back a different child.
Yeah, like, Mom, I'm sorry. Or they come back worse. Like, it's that type of shit. I think that's what they was running off of, right? I think that's what they was like trying to.
I don't think that ever worked.
Hell no.
That was a bad idea in the 90s. I think that was like one of the things that was big in the 90s was sending your kids to like a program where they can fucking switch their personality up because they're such bad kids.
I say the most effective one's probably Scared Straight, and not the one they be coming out on.
Yeah.
Not the one that come out now.
They got to comb his chest hair. Like Bob sent me that.
Yes,
clip.
the OG one.
The Scared Straight shit.
Yes, the OG one from like the 80s or 90s. I think it was like the 70s. You ever seen the one from the 70s? No, the one from the 70s is fucking horrible. It is like, I remember when I got in trouble one time, my parents made me watch it.
I've never seen that.
Like, what the fuck you looking at? You got some pretty ass lips. Stand the fuck up. You know what? Grab my pocket. I own you now. It's like, yeah, guess what? Like, later you gonna be sucking my dick to them. These little kids like this. They all fucking. It is horrible.
You know what they did to us? Horrible. Like when we were in LA.
Right.
Dude, they sent us to like the fucking jails, and then they put us in that shit.
As a field trip?
As a field trip, dude. They locked us up like at the jail as a field trip, and then we saw everything that they went through. I was like, holy shit! I was like, do they do this with all these kids that live out here? Man. But like, we got it good. We got to experience that, and I think that made like kids not want to do like bad things because we saw that shit like firsthand.
I'm like, man, y'all doing this shit in Orange County? I bet you not. What the fuck y'all doing this to us?
It's pretty cool, man.
Yes, fuck that. I learned enough from watching. I was like, I will get demolished in jail, so I would never.
K. Ron says made an impression though. Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Yep.
I ain't never been, but I know the difference between right and wrong. Well, I mean, I got in trouble one time, and that's all it took. I was like, okay, jail ain't for me. I'm 5'8". I have nice eyebrows and shit. I ain't trying to get traded for a pack of cigarettes. I'm not. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Look, I will jump out a fucking window if I go to jail. But
they'll fucking do that Subway footlong on you.
Oh my god, man! Fucking
that Jared special.
I was trying to think. I can't remember the name. I was about to say Jeff. I was like, no, it's not.
They're
Jeff.
gonna do that Jared Italian special on you, man.
$5 footlong.
That shit's like $7 now.
That motherfucker ain't Jeff for real. That motherfucker ain't never gonna. Yeah, it's not even. Yo, bring Jared back, man. That shit was legit $5.
No, fuck Jared.
That shit was legit $5 when he was out, man. Free Jared.
Fuck that fool.
You know we about to get canceled again.
Leave him in jail.
Okay, it says okay.
Katie says you guys got some weird childhood memories.
We really do.
I have so much, but continue.
So I could write a book of my shit, man. It's so funny. The 90s was a fun time, man. People don't give it enough credit.
You know what's crazy? Like the elementary like I went to, like there was like no black kid, right? There was only one black kid in like my whole school.
That's how it was when I was out here. Clayton County used to be all white at one time.
Oh yeah,
I early 90s.
I heard
no minorities. I was like one of the few black kids.
I remember looking at like the pictures like from like the 80s or whatever, the 90s. There was a bunch of white kids.
Like, damn, this is like the Harlem Globetrotters, but with white people.
Yeah.
You said the basketball team.
Before we moved out here to Georgia, right? We thought it was just gonna be like majority like white people. But then when we came here, like holy shit, it was just nothing but black people. I was like.
Yeah, like that.
I was like, what the fuck? Like, I was so confused.
Did y'all move to Clayton County at first or no?
Yeah.
When did y'all get here? Late 90s?
No, like 2000s.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Let me tell you this. 90s, Clayton County in the 90s, all white. That transition between the 2000s, white folks went north.
So white folks.
They went north. They went north.
Yeah.
Black folks took over the south. So y'all came at that. Y'all came over that. That's what I was asking. Like, wait, when did you get here? 2000? Like, you should have done the transition. That was when it's like, oh, whoa, this is. They have Compton over here too? No, it's just.
Katie says, write that book. She'll buy it.
Hell yeah, it'd be funny. We should do that, man. It says, okay, let me get back to this right quick. Okay, so anyways, they work for this fucking company, Worldwide Association of Specialty Programs and Schools, right? They running this shit. It's in located in Mexico, Jamaica, Western Sama, and United States, right? They also operated several hospitals and other service-oriented companies. One of them was like a youth transport service, right? Which, according to officials, did the kidnapping of wayward children's parents pay. Which basically was kidnapping kids, like children, and the parents paid upwards to $30,000 for Roach and staffers like him to reform at various centers around the globe. So basically, he was running a program like, "Hey, I'm paying you $30,000 to." It basically was almost like it wasn't like a legal thing they was doing, and I'm pretty sure you have to have like some kind of like legal paperwork, whatever. Like, hey, we're gonna take care of your kid, whatever, and we'll watch over them. Apparently, it might have been some illegal shit, but parents were paying them like $30,000 to watch their kids at this facility and take care of them to straighten them out or whatever.
That's like $30,000 a year,
like $30,000, like straight up, like
just to watch their kids.
take the kid, 30 grand, 30
and then
grand.
just do whatever.
Yeah, and it says, and staffers like him to reform at various centers around the globe. Techniques used were akin to prison torture, starvation, beatings, being tied or chained to beds, being forced to eat vomit, laying urine, blood, and feces.
Why though?
In some cases, rape and molestation. Because people are fucking crazy.
Some cases of rape. I would think like most cases were rape.
I don't know. Maybe you got some pedos who like, they got puke on them. I'm not gonna rape them.
I think
today.
this was like the golden era for pedophiles,
Hey man, today, yo.
where they can get away with the most child abuse.
This is before when cameras came out everywhere. This is like the last hoorah.
This was before the Ring cameras came out. This was before the internet came out. Well, the internet was available, but it wasn't available to the public like that. So they got away with a lot of shit back then.
But now we live in like in a secure state where it's like cameras all over the fucking place. It's a lot harder for them to get away with shit like that. This was like some.
Can you imagine like the OGs, right, sitting in a table, like, man, remember like back then, like in the 80s, where we could run like a train on a kid and nobody would say nothing, and nobody would ever find out. Like imagine like those guys talking right now. It's like those were the good old days. Like they'll be like Clinton and shit. Joe Biden's in there.
You ever heard of this dude named Long? You ever heard of this dude named
all those guys?
You ever heard of this dude named Long Beach Griffey? He does like these little comedy skits. He's from like Long Beach, California. Mm-hmm. He does like these sketches on like he's pretty big online, but he's like these sketches are always like crossing that line. He did one like last week of like if there was like a pedophiles anonymous shit, and like dudes like these pedophiles like. All right, it's like this is like the one guy. The normal guy's like he plays everybody. He plays everybody, right? He's like, okay, like so everybody's our first. All right, pedophiles anonymous. So like, if you got anything in your chest, you know, what's wrong with your toes? Wrong. And then one of the pedophiles is like, I miss Tommy. And then when one of the pedophiles is like, oh Tommy, yo, he a hoe, man. He was at my place last week, but they're like arguing like over this little boy. It's fucking.
So he played like different characters.
Yeah, like man, yo, how about this? Like he's like, oh, you still ride around in that white pickup van? He's like, motherfucker, get a TikTok. he's like, oh, we evolved, man.
Was this like recent?
This is like last week he dropped this like the sketch. It's fucking hilarious.
How did you get away with that?
Like, but he keeps the camera on him the whole time, but he does all the voices. You can hear the voices like in the background, but he's like, it sounds like, yo, they're like arguing amongst each other. Like,
that's crazy.
He's like, man, like you still using a van? You need to upgrade, get a TikTok, motherfucker. Like, he's like, and then one of the other pedophiles was like, how about this? We have a bet. Like whoever can put the most kids gets Tommy the week after next or some shit.
Man, that's that real comedy.
But he's like pushing that line. Everybody's like, yo, that's why a lot of people like, yo, this dude is like, it's dark and it's funny, but it's like, yo, it's just a joke. It's like he's just making fun of this shit.
It's so dark, absurd. It's a joke, but you know, like they'll never put him like in the spotlight.
No, man,
ever. He ain't never. Not in like in today's time. Like you will never.
I'm surprised he gets sponsors and shit. I'd be surprised when he be doing like sponsor commercials. I'm like, damn, you ain't getting blacklisted like that. All right.
Yeah, because all those like those comedians like at the top, they would never do a show like that. They're all scared, man.
No.
Fuck that. It's like it's not even worth it, you know? Because
they're
like
you're gonna lose your whole livelihood for a joke.
They can comply to like what the people think is acceptable and shit.
Yeah.
Which is fucked up now, like for comedy.
Yeah.
R.I.P. to the comedy world, man.
Maybe it might bounce back one day. We'll see. It says, it says, according to U.S. social worker Donna Hendricks, she says, in her research team, she says, Stephen Roach and his wife, Glenda, were arrested in May of 1996 while running a girls' facility called Sunrise Beach. That's all. They had this place where it was like straight up all girls' facility. They had facilities all over the place, right? It's called Sunrise Beach. It says, after 3 teenage girls escaped from the institution, begging down doors of a nearby police station, complaining of abuse, and an immigration inspector visited the facility and discovered that the girls were illegally in the country. The inspectors found out the facility to be more like a prison or torture system than a reform center, and were shocked with the unsanitary conditions of the facility. Shortly thereafter, Stephen Roach and his wife were members of staff. With 41 girls in tow, they tried to escape to Mexico and were intercepted at the local airport. Mexican federal police arrested them all, and including Stephen and Glenda Roach, and charged them with depriving juveniles of their liberty and with running an unlicensed and unsanitary facility. Sunrise Beach was shut down by the police officials, and the couple eventually managed to leave Mexico, destination for Czech Republic. So basically, mom getting away and escape the fucking country because in the real world, bad guys fucking win. But a lot of it saying like, okay, he was the guy that was supposed to be the programmer. That was the one that started it, but you with the whole Polybius thing. But the lady who was doing the investigation, well, I found out like, okay, what if that's true? Like we actually like I can't speak on if he was involved in Polybius, but the Stephen Roach that supposedly posted up this little vlog one time speaking about this stuff. The guy Stephen Roach is a real guy, and he is legit. The Stephen Roach is a real guy who was actually a fucking pedophile running this goddamn ring of like wayward kids. But I guess they was trying to use Polybius. Like Polybius is like that's a tie-in to like Stephen Roach was involved in it. Who the fuck knows?
He might have been involved with the Polybius shit, but I know like 100% facts, like the shit that you were talking about. Like he was involved with the shit with the kids.
Yeah,
that's like
that's
for
straight
sure.
up legit. That's straight up legit. He's
so like it's a story with him and Polybius. Done. Like you can already cut that story out. Like it's like whatever. That's like your shit. But
that's what I'm saying, like,
your real shit that's happening.
Shit. And I think that's what the story that she was trying to get to as well too. Is like that Polybius shit is at this point when it comes to Stephen Roach is fucking irrelevant to the real shit. That's really what this motherfucker was really
like
doing.
The real shit. Like here, like let me tell you another like pedophile story that fucking blew up on Reddit. There's this old guy, right, on YouTube. Old innocent man, right? He do cover songs, like he would sing cover songs and shit, and you know everybody fell in love with him on YouTube. He had like over fucking 500,000 subscribers and shit. Like it's just an old man singing. Like people are like, oh man, like we need more shit like this. You heard about it?
This sounds very familiar. Hold on, I'm listening.
They're like, like we need more shit like this, especially like in a time with the pandemic. Like you see like old guys singing cover songs. But later, you know, like fucking the Reddit community, they fucking started digging. They're like, man, this guy, I don't think this guy is like as innocent as what he seems, you know? Because, you know, he would get all these positive comments like, oh, man, you're like an angel or whatever, you know? And then they fucking started digging shit up, dude. They dug so deep, like this dude is like a pedophile. He's like a registered sex offender and shit. And he did some dark shit. Regular old dude on fucking YouTube, like you would never know, like
it pays an
I didn't like went through like the whole story. I just got like the gist of the story. Like he was like a popular YouTube guy that blew up, but then he ended up being like a pedophile, and they fucking exposed him on pedophile and shit. And they got like his mugshot. They posted that shit up, and this all happened like during like pandemic times.
I mean, yeah, like it's like we live in a day and age now of like. Yeah, that whole like even what Long Beach Griffey was saying with his jokes like, man, you still using a van? Man, ain't nobody doing that shit no more. We got the fucking internet for that shit, and that's why like with my godson and his mother, we always try to keep eye on him with like when he's playing like fucking Fortnite. He's like, hey, I just made a new friend. Da, da, da. I mean, and you know, like me, I'm like, yo, like who is it? Do you really know this person? No, then delete him. His mom told him the same thing. Like, don't be adding anybody. Don't be responding to everybody. Because these motherfuckers out here, like, and he doesn't, and he's starting to understand, like, okay,
Jeremy knows about that.
Yeah, for real. And it's like one of the things, like, your kid, like, kids are such like, I like as much as I like kids, I think kids are also sociopaths too, because they don't understand the concept of like good and bad at first. I think this is a clean slate. You just have to mold them into that. So I think they're like sociopaths, like they don't really feel empathy like that. You gotta teach them this shit. Yeah. But as far as like for the most part, like I remember when I was a kid, like I was at a park one time with my family, and my mom lost me, and she was running around the park looking for me, and you're watching the whole time, like damn, look at her looking for me. I think I was like maybe like 2 or 3. I don't even remember this shit. And then when she finally found me, I was sitting down with this random white family eating cheese. Damn. And the white family was like, we didn't know what to do with it. We just sat down just like eating cheese with us, and she's a nice baby. But you know, kids are like by general, like they're not evil. You know, this is like just like, hey, you want to be my friend? And that's how I feel like a lot of kids sometimes too with online stuff, like, oh, I got a friend, da da da, and it's dangerous. You got motherfuckers who like fucking sick as shit and is gonna take advantage of that shit, man. It's scary, but it's dangerous. You gotta keep an eye on what they do, man. Keep an eye on who your kids talk to, and keep an eye on what the fuck they're spending on these goddamn games on these iPads. Like these two things. Man, the easy way, dude, just fucking disconnect the internet. You could, but at the same time though, it's really convenient for parents to have this, because if you don't have it, kids always gonna be up your ass nonstop.
But if they don't know it exists in the first place, they don't even know what they're missing out on.
What do you do? Take them to Tibet? How would they not know about the internet? They're gonna know. They're going to know.
Well, they're not going to school, so.
What if they see you on your phone and the kids be like, I don't want to play a game. Kids always want to play with like. I want to see
You
your
ever
phone.
seen the movie The Village or whatever?
Yeah, they thought it was like a whole fucking. It was basically present day, but it was like
You can hide technology from people, man.
man, you gotta go to some great extent though, like make them never leave the house, or they can't talk to nobody outside the house. Village is like everybody was in on this shit. Like everybody had to be in on this.
It's easy.
Those kids like I want chicken nuggets. Like
They
you
can
gonna
get-
bring it to them?
Yeah.
No, it's hard.
But like
to
with the
hide, man.
internet, you can control it.
Yeah, I mean, just gotta keep an eye on them. I mean, I don't know. Fuck, I have anxiety thinking about having kids sometimes. I'm like, fuck, this world is scary, man.
Yeah, that's a long episode. We're almost at 3 hours.
Oh fuck, you ready to wrap it up?
Yeah.
I gotta
we're-
piss too. I gotta go so bad.
All right, guys. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight on the Media Hijack. Check us out next week on Tuesday, which is going to be the final episode for 2020.
Hell yeah, this is it.
This is going to be the last episode for this year, and we're going to do a recap on everything on 2020. So
From beginning to end, the good, the bad.
from the good to the bad, if you guys want to join us and add up on what you guys think we should be talking about, just join us next week on Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern. Yeah.
Let's get it.
Peace out, guys.
See you guys.
Adios.